tonight's Valley Football Association contest between Neenah and Appleton North. Crisp, early fall evening. I mean early because technically it's not fall yet, but it is still summer. Here hanging out at Appleton North, it's Mike Sherry. I am Ricardo Arguello, and bringing you those high-definition shots is Jim Rosendick, all of USA Today Network, Wisconsin. And here at Appleton North, I should say, for the second time this year, we started off the season here, Appleton North. And Mike, welcome back here. Have you done a football game? Is this your first one here?
I did one last year here, an Appleton North game, and I did a couple basketball games for you.
Okay,
but,
all right. Well, you're a seasoned veteran, is what you're saying. You're a good pinch hitter for Brett Christopherson, who, by the way, is took the weekend off, I should say, or tonight off with some family responsibilities to get to and everything. But we have the best pinch hitter here. You're the Kurt Bavacqua, for a dated reference there.
Yeah, nobody knows who nobody knows who that is, Ricardo, and nobody knows who I am. So maybe it's a perfect reference.
Yeah. So, but yeah, here at Paul Lincoln Field again, and we're about 8 minutes away from the start of kickoff. Or not 8 minutes away, I should say 13 minutes away, but the two teams are both on the field getting ready for tonight's game. We're already in the fourth week of the season, and both these teams come in at 2-1 overall. Appleton North 2-0 in the VFA North, Neenah 2-1 in the VFA South. What I'm going to do, Mike, is I'll read some Appleton North notes, and you can finish up with Neenah if that's cool. All of these notes, by the way, put together by Brett Christopherson, so he's still coming through in the clutch for us, even though he's not here. Appleton North, what do we know about them? Well, they're coming off a 23-7 win over DC Everest last Friday in a VFA matchup at Schofield. Appleton North opened the scoring with a pair of field goals from Brady Frantal, 25-yard in the first quarter, 26-yard in the second quarter. That got them a 6-0 lead. By the way, Frantal, according to Brett's notes here, also plays soccer for the Lightning. The Lightning grabbed a 13-0 lead thanks to a 59-yard interception return for a score by Braden Gomerick. Quarterback maybe it's Matthew. We'll call him Matt Sheckelman, hooked up with Bo Burling on a 56-yard TD strike in the third quarter. And then Frantal again, nice night for him, 32-yard field goal in the fourth quarter. That capped the scoring. Sheckelman, the young quarterback, threw for 245 yards and a touchdown on 23 of 30 passing. Carl Martini rushed for 56 yards on 16 carries. Burling finished with 107 yards receiving on 6 catches, while Kyle Funky caught 8 passes for 44 yards. Defensively, Appleton North was credited with 3 sacks. Wilson Zuck had 1.5 and led the way with 9 total tackles. And Wes King also had 1.5 sacks. Mitchell Cambray added 8 tackles as the Lightning limited the Evergreens to 201 total yards. Sheckelman is off to a nice start, 441 yards passing with 3 touchdowns. He has completed 64% of his throws. And Martini is the Lightning's leading rusher with 234 yards and a touchdown on 44 carries. That's a 5.3 average. Martini, by the way, is sophomore. Charlie Hardy, a junior. He's next with 151 yards and a touchdown on 32 rushes. Funky, Jack Kreitzer, and Burling are the top 3 receivers with 13, 11, and 10 receptions respectively. And Burling's 156 receiving yards lead the way in that department. Kreitzer is next with 108. On the defensive side, Zuck is the Lightning's top tackler with 26 stops. Also has 2 sacks. King's 3 sacks are tops on the team. Now, looking at team stats here, Appleton North is averaging 147 yards per game through the air. Just a shade under 127 on the ground. Their next game is at home against Kaukauna, undefeated Kaukauna, in the VFA North matchup. Kickoff is scheduled for 7 o'clock. So those are your Appleton North notes. Mike Sherry, do you have what do you know about Neenah?
Well, Ricardo, the Rockets are coming off a 37-17 victory over Stevens Point last Friday in a VFA game at Neenah. Neenah jumped out to a 16-0 lead in that game after the first quarter and then tacked on 3 touchdowns in the third quarter for a 37-0 lead. And they held the Panthers to just 108 total yards in that game. Caden Fritch opened the scoring with a 1-yard touchdown run. A 14-yard hookup from quarterback Peyton McClowry to Sam Young gave the Rockets a 13-0 lead. University of Wisconsin recruit kicker Jack Van Dyke nailed a 24-yard field goal to close out the first quarter scoring for the Rockets. Jaden Bartlett's 2-yard score in the third quarter gave Neenah a 23-0 lead, and then Young followed with a 52-yard interception return for a touchdown. And then McClowry found Dylan Stockman from 21 yards out as the Rockets took control. Fritsch finished with 109 yards on the ground on 15 carries. McClowry threw for 94 yards and 2 touchdowns. Young finished with 3 catches for 48 yards, and Stockman had 3 catches for 34. Defensively, Reed Keppel led the way with 7 tackles and a sack for the Rockets. For the season, McClowry's thrown for 330 yards and 4 touchdowns and completed 54% of his throws. He's also tossed 3 interceptions. Fritsch is Neenah's top rusher with 241 yards and 3 touchdowns on 27 carries this year. He's averaging almost 9 yards per carry, Ricardo.
Wow.
Stockman's 9 catches lead the Rockets in that category. He also has team highs in receiving yards with 140 and receiving touchdowns with 3. Defensively, Keppel is the top tackler for Neenah with 26 this season, and he also has 2 sacks. As for the team stats, Neenah's averaging 120.3 yards per game through the air and 104.7 yards on the ground. Next week, the Rockets will play at Oshkosh West in a VFA South matchup. That game is scheduled for 5 p.m.
Okay.
Must be one of the Friday night doubleheaders there at Titan Stadium down in Oshkosh.
Yeah, and for the series, Appleton North leads 12-8, but Neenah got a big win last year. They topped the Lightning 22-19. That was a Week 2 matchup. That snapped a 7-game winning streak by Appleton North in the series. So Neenah, able to I think Mike and I both agree is a program that's had a nice turnaround. They're trying to kind of break on to that next level. They're a playoff team right now, playoff qualifier. Now they want to take it to the next level. And to get to the next level, you got to beat the teams like Appleton North. That's something that they did last year. Some other notes. Appleton North, by the way, speaking of the Lightning, the last team besides Kimberly to win the VFA North title. That came back in the 2012 season. And Kimberly has won the last 6 conference championships. Neenah shared the VFA South title with Fond du Lac in 2017. And the Lightning have qualified for the playoffs in every season since 2004. That's a string of 15 straight seasons. And Neenah is looking to extend its postseason appearance streak to 6 straight. So a nice turnaround by Neenah under Coach Young. The next USA Today Network Wisconsin live stream, well, we've decided that's Fond du Lac as they host Ortonville. That's a big VFA South matchup. Live coverage kicks off at 6:45 p.m. from Bruce Field in Fond du Lac. And, if you want to know more about these web streams or want to see more, I guess some of the past live streams, go to the sports section on any of our USA Today Network Wisconsin websites. Scroll down until you see the Watch Our Varsity Game of the Week Prep live streams link. And Mike, you have a special our Verlo mattress sponsor. What can you say? Tell us about them if you want to read that off.
Yeah, Ricardo, a big thank you to our sponsor, Verlo Mattress Factory of Appleton, Green Bay, Oshkosh, Fond du Lac, and Sturgeon Bay. Their craftsmen manufacture your bed on site with unmatched quality and customer service. Be sure to stop in today for their mega mattress clearance sale. Yeah,
big thank you to Verlo Mattress. By the way, and Rosie already has a nice graphic there to put in the middle of our score. It's like a little scoreboard that we got going on, so thank you, Rosie, always on top of things. We'll be referencing the Verlo Mattress scoreboard frequently throughout the game and give you more details on what they have to offer potential customers at halftime. So just minutes away from the start of tonight's game, it was Parents' Night here. And several of them still on the field, it appears like.
I think they'll be staying on the field for the National Anthem, which is upcoming in a few seconds here.
Again, very brisk evening. I'm going to check with the weather. Officially what the weather is like. I know the wind is, it was gusting from the west, but it looks like it's calmed down just a smidge. Officially 61 degrees right now and overcast at Paul Engen Field on the north side of Appleton here. As the rain, we're hoping has, it looks ominous, but I think we'll be able to get away without having anything touch ground here. And, Mike, you were down on the field.
I was. Of course, they have turf here, so obviously it's not going to be much of a problem. But with all the rain we had, I thought I'd walk the field and see if it was squishy or wet at all, and it was not. Very, very dry field, so that won't be a problem today.
Well, here we are. We will be having the national anthem here and the game of the week to follow. beautiful rendition of our national anthem as we are minutes away from the start of tonight's game. As the parents here on Parents' Night, I'm going to guess those are the parents of the senior players, able to stay on the field there. Very nicely, very nice. I'm not sure if this is a tradition that they have, but that was very cool to see as we are minutes away again from the start of tonight's game. Neenah Rockets, Appleton North Lightning. Both teams, again, 2-1 on the season. I'm Ricardo Arguello, part of USA Today Network Wisconsin, hanging out with Mike Sherry, USA Today Network Wisconsin sports planning editor. Did I say that correctly? A.K.A. he's my boss. And then bringing you those high-definition shots is Jim Rosendick. Ain't nobody your boss there, Jimmy. Can I call you Jimmy, or you like Rosie? Okay, always call him Rosie. You don't like Jimmy. But
Ricardo, you talked about the wind, and you could hear it
yes,
coming through the microphones from the national anthem singers. It is blowing out here. It'll be interesting to see how much that affects the passing game and the kicking game tonight for both teams.
Rosie, whenever you get a chance, it's not. You don't have to do it right away, but get a picture of the crowd here. They're all bundled up in their winter coats and things like that. They got the blankets out here, and it's not even mid-September yet. So kind of a brisk evening. Thank you, Rosie. Good stuff there. As you see, they're in their winter coats and they're ready. This game it's unseasonably cool.
We always talk about the beauty of starting the season as early as they do is that it's still pretty warm by the time you get to mid-season and late season, but not tonight.
No. But that's Wisconsin. It's quite schizophrenic when it comes to what it decides on what season it is. That changes by the week, sometimes within a week.
Ricardo, this is a huge game tonight for both teams, obviously. We certainly expect, or at least I do, and I'm sure you do, expect both of these teams to be in the playoffs at the end of the season, but it's not too early to start thinking about seeding for those playoffs. And when you look at the schedule for both of these teams for the rest of the season, suddenly tonight's game is even more important. Both of these teams have one loss. One of these teams will leave here tonight with 2 losses. Neenah's last 3 games of the regular season are against Kimberly, Hortonville, and Fond du Lac. And then Appleton North plays Fond du Lac in 2 weeks, then takes on a up-and-coming, fast-rising Appleton East team, and then finishes with Kimberly.
Yes.
So when you look at what these 2 teams are facing for the rest of the season, that really makes tonight's game, you don't want to say it's a must-win, but you don't want to leave here with 2 losses after tonight.
Good call, Mike Sherry. Again, tough schedules for both these teams the rest of the way. Again, I want to thank Verlo Mattress for being our official sponsor. Glad to have them on board as Jack Van Dyke, the University of Wisconsin preferred walk-on, starting next season, he will kick off.
Hopefully the Verlo Mattress scoreboard gets a lot of action tonight.
As that kick is right into the end zone, Mike. And a touchback for Appleton North. And we'll get to see the young Sheckelman again. Had a nice game. We were here in week 1. Big win for Appleton North over Spash, or Stevens Point Area Senior High, as Brett likes to call it. It must be like whiteout or something because they got the dust going there. You see that on the field. Yeah. You can see that. Am I right, Rosie? You kind of see that going all over. It kind of looks like fog bolt.
Yeah, it's whiteout night with the Appleton North cheering section, so they decided to
check out the baby powder.
Yeah.
First down and 10 for Appleton North. That ball is on the 20-yard line. Just underway here at Paul Engen Field as Zet Martini right away off the left side, and he's going to get bottled up by that very active Neenah defense. No gain for Martini.
Linebacker Reed Keppel for Neenah stepped into the hole there and met Martini right in the hole.
Big old number 98 for Appleton North off the field. That's Borland. He sometimes comes in as an additional blocker for Appleton North. But Martini not able to get anything going off the left side there as second down and 10. Sheckelman right away, far side. Pass is caught for a minimal gain, about 3 yards. Trying to see who caught that, and I'll see that was number 20 for Appleton North, Bo Burling. So Sheckelman to Burling.
Jacob Kazuba, the outside linebacker for Neenah, made the play of it.
Oh, it's coming back because there was a block in the back, it appeared, Mike.
Do you push him back, or do you
oh, they're pushing him back.
Yeah, okay.
Would have been whoa, look where this is going, way back to the 10. So that's a second down and 20 from the 10, Mike, and an inauspicious start for Appleton North. A lot of times, Mike, once you say those are timing plays, and sometimes the guys get out there, start blocking a little early. But there's Burling again in motion, and Scheckelman with the screen up the middle and finding a lot of real estate is number 16 for Appleton North.
Charlie Hardy.
Charlie Hardy, the junior.
Nice middle screen there. Tease the defensive lineman to offensive lineman, let them go, and then just throw it right over the top of their head.
Ball's going to be at the 23, a 13-yard gain. So nice piece of chunk, Mike, that they got back from that penalty. Some manageable third downs, a little bit longer than you'd like. As the receivers now, there's a little bit of miscommunication going on as they don't have the play. And it looks like they're trying to do kind of like the hurry-up offense, Mike, but looking to the sidelines. And Appleton North, I believe, is forced to take a timeout. That's right away in the first quarter. So no score here at Paul Langen Field on your Verlo Mattress scoreboard. 10:18 left.
I don't know if that's a communication problem with the coaches, not sure what play they wanted to run on 3rd and 7, or if we just had trouble getting the play into the receivers.
I'll be checking periodically on the Twitter. You can follow me at PC Ricardo. Don't forget about Rosie at Meadow Rosie. Mike, where you at?
At Mike Sherry 14.
Yes, and we'll try to get as many scores out to you quickly as possible. And if you want a shout out, just send it to me at PC Ricardo, and I'll try to get you a shout out here. Hopefully, our buddy Ken, the referee, is watching as well, so we can get some feedback on any kind of questionable calls. And you know there will be some.
No, there won't. Not tonight. We're not having any of that tonight.
3rd down and 7 for Appleton North. Just underway here at Paul Langen Field. Campus of Appleton North. Scheckelman to Burling again, but that's going to be stopped short. And a nice tackle by number 44, Luke Elkin.
North kind of flooded the shallow flat there, and he had Scheckelman had 2 guys to throw to. He took the closer guy and wasn't.
Move and get some extra yards, but Neenah's defense, especially Elkin, up to the task.
All right.
4th down, and what we do, a long 3 here for Appleton North. Again, both these teams are 2-1 on the season, and as Mike said before, these are big. This is a big game for both teams, I should say. That punt takes a nice Appleton North bounce, and that's going to be down right at the 30.
Ended up being a 43-yard punt, Ricardo.
I was just going to say, I was trying to add it up. You're too quick for me.
Well, as we talked about, whatever win there was, he was kind of kicking into it a little bit there. I don't know if that was part of the plan to keep the ball low.
Yeah. So 9:27 left here in the first quarter. 1st down and 10 from the 30 for Neenah, and that's Peyton McClowry, 6'2", 270-pound quarterback. The signal caller for Neenah. He's back to throw his first one. A quick out and a nice timing play. That's Dylan Stockman.
Neenah's got the wind at its back, Ricardo, right for this first quarter now, so we'll see if they come out throwing.
16-yard gain on that connection, Mike. Very nice play to start here for Neenah. And I think you'd agree with me that that's been Neenah's Achilles heel, basically, is their offense for the last couple years, trying to find a consistency there because their defense is usually pretty solid. They have a 1st down and 10. They're near midfield here are the Rockets. Colin McClowry in motion. And that passes to Elkin. Look at him bulldozing his way into Appleton North territory. And it looks like the ball will be placed at the 46-yard line. So nice 8-yard gain.
A couple of quick 3-step drops, get the ball out quickly. North's given a little bit of a cushion on the outside so far. I imagine they'll
tighten it up, huh?
Tighten it up once they see what Neenah wants to do.
Our buddy Ken is watching, Mike, so if you have any kind of officiating question, he will be more than happy to ask. We have to get a graphic here, Rosie, for him. Ken, the official. As McClowry, little miscommunication there. I believe that was intended for number 88. And, hey, where's the rest of my roster here, Mike? I'm looking for the rest of my Neenah roster. It stop at 88?
Stopped at 84. Yeah, they didn't. The Appleton North provided us with a nice roster, but it only went up to number 84.
Yeah.
So
All right, so
we'll get that corrected.
to remain nameless is that was who was intended for. So incomplete pass, 3rd down and 2 from the 46. High school football. Hey, Mike. McClowry, one of 2 starters on offense. 2 McClowrys on offense, and that's to the other McClowry, and he gets a 1st down. That's Colin McClowry, 5'11", 160-pound running back. I don't know his year because they don't have his year in here. That's a 6-yard gain, though, for Colin McClowry. 1st down and 10 from the 40. Nice little drive here for Neenah to start.
Started at their own 30. They've already picked up 30 yards.
Here's McClowry again back, and that's a little too low.
Same play they ran on the opening play of this drive.
That was to Stockman, a little too low, though, so that brings up 2nd down and 40 for the Rockets.
He was open. He could have got the ball in there. Just threw it a little bit low and a little bit too far out in front of him.
8:23 left here on your Verlo mattress scoreboard. No score, however, between these two. There's a cross game, I'm going to assume.
Yep, VFA crossover game.
And that, oh my goodness, that I think number 52 of Appleton North had that dead to rights. Ethan Post thought he had it right in his hand, and it was tipped away. I'm not sure if the receiver went for it, trying to make a reception there, Mike. But
yeah, I think the Neenah tight end got his hand up at the last second just to deflect it away from the interception.
I tell you what, if Post intercepts that, Mike, wouldn't you say he had a whole lot of green in front of him?
He sure did.
So now a 3rd down and 10 for Neenah. Rockets have only ran the ball 1 time thus far to start. Look out. He is going to be sacked and thrown down. Big loss. I'm not sure if that's Post. I'm looking if that's number 52, but boy, he got there. He got there in a hurry. Oh, that's number 92, excuse me.
Wes King.
Yes, a sophomore defensive lineman.
He threw him down with some authority there, too.
And that's going to bring up a 4th down and 23. As that punt is going to be fielded on traffic. Look out. We got some additions to the old Neenah roster here. Number 84 is Dane Newman. And 87 is Josh Criddlebaugh. Nope, I need to go backwards, Mike. How do you do that on your fancy schmancy phone? So 1st down and 10, and the ball is going to be just past the 20-yard line. We'll call it the 21. That's off the left side. Martini with the carry. And, yeah, so Newman was the number 84 that we were looking for. 2nd down and 7 for Appleton North. 3-yard gain for Martini. 2nd possession for Appleton North as Shuckelman, hey, look at that gorgeous pass, complete. That was beautiful. You know, that wasn't bad coverage either. And I'm trying to find the receiver. Is that number 11? Kyle Funky. But you know what? That was very good coverage, actually, by Cole Schultz.
Yeah, Schultz was right there running stride for stride with him, but Shuckelman just threw a perfect ball right there. Funky did a great job of not putting his hands up until the last second.
Hey, that's a 38-yard pass play, so nice. Good touch on that ball by Shuckelman. Sophomore quarterback for Appleton North. 1st down and 10 from the Rockets 41. Look out. You know, Nate Lee, that defensive back, had a beat on that.
Yeah, he undercut the route and almost got there, but Shuckelman was able to get the throw just past him into Funky's hands again.
Whew, some hard hitting going on down there as that's number 10.
Alex Haran with the carry there for the Lightning. Looked like he was going to get through that hole, and it looked a Neenah player might have grabbed a hold of his, got hold of the jersey a little bit and stopped him, pulled him right back. Brings up 3rd and 2.
Trying to see who that running back was. Oh, that was Hardy, 16.
First down carry gives the Lightning the ball at the 29-yard line. 1st and 10, just under 6 minutes left in the what so far is a scoreless first quarter.
Sheckelman rolling to his right, throwing and has a receiver. He did. I think that's big old Borland he was trying to connect to. He had actually beaten his man, so it was just a matter of just timing there for Appleton North.
Let's see if they come back to that, Ricardo, either this play or soon. Trenton Blackman ran a wheel route to the opposite side of the field, and nobody from Neenah was within 25 yards of him. He's jumping up and down, waving his arms, trying to get Sheckelman's attention. Busted coverage by Neenah, and Sheckelman just didn't see him.
So 2nd and 10 from the 29 for Appleton North. Nice second drive for the Lightning as Sheckelman again over to Funky.
Good hustle by Sam Young, the defensive back, to come over and make the tackle. After gain of about 6 yards. That's going to leave us with a 3rd and 4.
Ball be placed just past the 23-yard line.
Again, Ricardo, you want to talk about the wind. If they don't get the conversion here, you think they'd probably go for it on 4th down. With the way the wind's blowing, I'm not sure that a field goal would be an option here.
Yeah, I don't know. You see what I'm looking at the tags over there on the goal line, the flags. They look pretty dead so far. I'm not sure if the wind's died down, but here's Sheckelman, 3rd down play, and he connects. Heron, and that's way down by the goal line now.
Down to about the 7-yard line. Alex Heron. Again, he ran just a little wheel route out of the backfield, and Sheckelman, perfect throw again.
16-yard gain for Appleton North. And they're right at 5 minutes left here in the first quarter on your Verlo Mattress scoreboard.
Sheckelman throws a really nice ball, Ricardo.
He does.
Real nice tight spiral.
Rolling to his right, wide open. Mike, that's too easy.
Here's Kyle Funky with the touchdown for the Lightning. You said it, Ricardo, just too easy. North is finding a lot of success with those throws to the flats.
So early touchdown here with 4:55 left. Eight play, 79-yard drive, Mike.
And Riley Gibbs puts the extra point through, giving the Lightning a 7-0 lead.
I'm going to try to update my Twitter quick.
Your score on the Verlo Mattress Factory scoreboard, Appleton North 7, Neenah 0 with 4:55 remaining in the first quarter.
So nice drive there by Appleton North. Got things clicking. I think Sheckelman looked really impressive, Mike. He's a sophomore, but by the end of the year, he ain't going to be no sophomore anymore.
Well, Coach, I know Coach saw him before the season, told you he had as much talent as any quarterback they've had. He said he was just, the only knock against him was that he was a sophomore. But he's played 3 games now. He's into his 4th game, and clearly a talented quarterback. And we talked about the wind maybe being a factor, but obviously not enough down on the field because the Lightning pretty much passed the ball the entire way down the field.
Real good-looking drive for Appleton North.
Gibbs will kick off for the Lightning. Kept it low. Again, with the wind, he kept it real low. Taken at the 5-yard line by McClowry.
Ooh. Takes it near the 30. They're going to mark it right at the 29.
And a late penalty flag came flying in, Ricardo, from the far side official. So I think we're going to have a block in the back by the Rockets.
That's unfortunate for Neenah. You know, that's not a bad return. And now you're going to make it a little bit more difficult for that Neenah offense. That's led by Peyton McClowry. That ball will be placed right at the 18-yard line. So that's where Neenah will start, down 7-0 on your Verlo Mattress scoreboard. 4:47 left in the first quarter. 7-0 lead for Appleton North. Funky with a 7-yard touchdown reception from Sheckelman is your only score of the game, as that is giving up the middle and nowhere to go. I mean, nowhere to go.
Great push by the Appleton North defensive line.
I think that's number 27. I'm trying to catch that number. Massive humanity over there. Jaden Bartlett. And that's a loss of 4 yards.
Now Bartlett kind of ran into the back of the left side of his offensive line because they got pushed back into the backfield by the right side of the North defense.
Correction, loss of 3 yards as brings up a 2nd down and 13 for Neenah. Appleton North defense has played pretty well over the season. They did have their only loss to Franklin, a very tough team to play on the road. Mike, I mean, you head all the way down to Milwaukee and against a really good program. And we have, is it a delay of game?
Yeah, delay of game on the Rockets.
Things turning from bad to worse here for Neenah. Be a 2nd and 18 from the 10.
Yeah, you don't want to be going backwards, Ricardo, especially when you got the wind at your back. You want to be going forwards all the time here.
So Peyton McClowry, Neenah quarterback. Quick, it was, that was tipped at the line of scrimmage, Mike. I want to say by number 50 for Appleton North, Burkett. Incomplete pass. Again, a real quick step and throw for Neenah as they're trying to avoid that Appleton North rush. Brings up a 3rd and 18, and boy, this will be a quick 3 and out, Mike, if Appleton North's defense is able to hold on this 3rd down play, and then the Rockets have forever to go. 3rd down and 18. Just outside their own end zone.
I think if you're Neenah here, maybe you run a screen or something.
Yeah, because, this is dangerous territory here. But McClowry's putting it up in the air. He has a man in between a bracket defense there, but that was thrown too far to, I want to say, his younger brother. The other McClowry, Colin McClowry, out of bounds, incomplete.
Sam Tao, the safety for North, had the receiver up top. There was nothing there.
That'll bring up a punting situation for Neenah.
Here's where you need Van Dyke to get off a really good kick when you're kicking from your own end zone.
Absolutely, and Van Dyke is really looked at as possibly a punter when he hits the next level.
Good kick.
Takes it almost to the 46. But hey, look at this nice return by Appleton North. That's Cambray, the defensive back. Takes it inside the 30. So a nice punt by Van Dyke, but Cambray able to weave his way.
And Van Dyke ended up making the touchdown-saving tackle on the play.
You never want your punter to have to end up making the tackle. Usually means things have gone wrong. That will be at the 27.
That's about a 46-yard punt, Ricardo, with a little bit of wind at his back, 46 yards. But Cambray negated the kick with that excellent return and set the Lightning up real good.
3:22 left here in the first quarter as, look out, Sheckelman's going to be sacked. Sacked by number 55, Tim Gressler. Something went wrong there, Mike. It looked like there was a flub in the play.
Looked like he went to fake the handoff and may have just bobbled the ball a little bit. North up to the line quick, though. They're moving fast now.
It'll be 2nd and 15 now from the 33. A loss of 5 on that sack. And Sheckelman, though, quickly out to Burling, and he's popped right away at around the 32.
Cole Schultz, the defensive back for the Rockets, came up and made the hit just immediately after the catch. Leaves the Lightning with about a third and 14, third and 15.
About a 1 yard gain there for Burling, and so nice nice play on the defensive end for Neenah as we have an incompletion, and Van Dyke was right there on that pass attempt behind the line of scrimmage. They looked like they were going to number 14, Preston Van Offeren, but Jack Van Dyke was right there. Van Dyke does a lot for Neenah. He'll play a little receiver, but mostly defensive back and the 2 kicking roles.
Yeah, the Lightning lined up 3 receivers to the right of that formation, and then Scheckelman rolled right, threw back to his left. They're going to go for it here, Ricardo, on 4th and 15.
Well, they really like their defense, and I don't know if I really blame them at all. As Scheckelman pass is complete, but it's not going to be a first down. That's going to be right at the 21, so 11-yard gain.
Van Offeren with the catch, but Nate Lee, the linebacker, was there to bring him down right away. Good gamble by the Lightning. You're too far for a field goal, and the punt doesn't really do you any good there.
And you do get a couple yards on the completion in terms of field position as well. First on the 10 of the 21, 2:12 left here in the first quarter at Paul Langen Field. Again, 7-0 lead for Appleton North on your Verlo mattress scoreboard. So let's see if Neenah can get something started here. They had a pretty nice drive in the their first possession. Here's McClowry off the left side, finding a small rail, but that was quickly bottled up, and a gain of about 5 or 6 yards for Colin McClowry.
We'll take 5 yards on first down every time. Almost 6. We'll call it 6.
Yeah. Ball's placed at the 27. Again, Appleton North's defense has been playing very well tonight. Neenah's had trouble kind of stringing together drives as that is handed off to number 49 and cutting it back the other way, Sam Young, but then he gets bottled up right at the 25, so a loss of 2.
He saw nothing to his right, turned around and tried to go left and saw nothing there as well.
It's a little tough because, you know, Appleton North is pretty disciplined. They're not going to allow a lot of back, you know, kind of those runs that where they break containment or anything like that.
The thing I've been impressed with this first quarter, Ricardo, is the secondary. The corners and the safeties for North are flying up on run plays. They're giving great run support.
They're down in 6 from the 25 for Neenah. McClowry has his man. Look out! Look out! That's Stockman. And Mike, you were talking about the Appleton North defensive backs. A missed tackle there on that quick hitter. And that's a 75-yard touchdown from McClowry to Stockman.
Well, North has been flying up from the secondary. Flew up a little bit too out of control on that one. Head dropped down a little bit on the tackle attempt, and Stockman went right past him.
And that's something I'm sure they'll look at in the film for Appleton North defense. You can't allow that. I mean, obviously everybody has their responsibilities, but hey, that's Stockman, and it was a nice ball placement by the quarterback McClowry, Mike.
That's about the 3rd time they've gone to that route now, just that quick slant. It's been there all night. That time Stockman broke a tackle.
And there's Van Dyke for that extra point. And we're all tied up here, Mike. Oh, I've been talking about the offense for Neenah, waiting for them to kind of break through, and you can't get any better than that with a 75-yard touchdown from Stockman, or I should say Stockman on the 75-yard touchdown reception from McClowry.
38 seconds left in the first quarter, Ricardo, on the Verlo mattress scoreboard, and it's 7-7 here in this Valley Football Association game.
Updating my Twitter here. You can follow me at PC Ricardo. Mike, you had something to say?
Well, I was just saying Neenah kind of getting yardage in small chunks for most of the game here, and then Stockman just found a seam there in the North defense and took it the distance. You need those every once in a while, Ricardo. I mean, against a defense, you know, as good as Norris, or against any good defense, it's hard to move the ball down the field 5 yards at a time and get all the way down the field. You need to break tackles every once in a while, and Stockman did it there.
Great game thus far tonight. We're not even out of the first quarter, but we're tied game, 7-7. As we're getting ready, as Van Dyke is getting ready to boot this one from the 40.
Again, the wind at his back. We look for not likely to have a return on this one.
That one's booted, and Mike, that is heading to the end zone as you have predicted. So first down and 10 for Appleton North coming up, and if you're the Lightning, just got to keep what you're doing. I think offensively they've been doing a good job with Scheckelman, and did a nice job on that touchdown drive, just hitting passes here and there. And
North hasn't gotten much going yet on the ground, but they haven't needed it. Every time they've needed to pick up yards, Scheckelman has found somebody open.
Scheckelman, look at Martini, though, off the right side. Needs a gang of rockets to bring him down, and there's a fumble on the play, Mike. Is it Neenah ball?
It should be. The Neenah linebacker wrapped up Martini and put his arms around the ball, and he pulled it out before Martini went down.
Well, they're marking the ball at the 25, so
the refs didn't see it from where I'm standing, and granted, we're pretty far away, Ricardo. It sure looked like that ball was pulled out before Martini was down.
5-yard gain for Martini. And we have a stoppage in play, and I'm not sure if this is a flag or a timeout.
Well, if this was the NFL, we'd say they threw the red challenge flag.
That wasn't the case. That's actually the end of the first quarter, Mike. So second down and 5 at the 25 when we come back to action, I should say, in the second quarter. Good game so far between these two rivals. And our buddy Ken the official said, yeah, you know what? The linesman called it down right away on the far side of the field. Thank you, Ken. Your hawk eyes, your expert eyes. I'm going to have to take a picture of Ken.
We should get a Ken cam.
Get a Ken cam, yeah, as he's sitting there watching the game.
We can have a little box in the corner of our stream with Ken's face, and he can be giving us live officiating updates. Because I'd like to know, honestly, if the ref did blow that down, but does Ken think the ref blew that down prematurely?
Ken.
It sure looked like that ball was pulled out.
The quick whistle there, or is that just all, I guess, respective of what each official does, their own style? Some let the play linger a little bit more. I don't know.
And to be honest, the Neenah coaching staff on the sideline did not go too crazy there. So they may have heard the whistle and knew that the play was blown dead.
Here we go. Martini right up the middle, still on his feet. Finally dragged down. That's Elkin on the tackle, and that ball's going to be at the 27. So a third down and 3 for Appleton North. Thank you to Ken's much better half, Joyce, his wife, sent us a picture of him on. I wish I could get it on so we can see him. Maybe we can do something with that mug, though. Maybe we can put it into a little graphic or something. Hey, Rosie, what do you say?
Hand your phone down to Rosie, and he can put the picture in front of the camera here.
Yes. So third down and 3. As look at Martini's running over guys. Unfortunately, there's just too many guys that try to run over Mike. As Neenah's defense, coming through. Maybe they've been energized by that long touchdown reception. That's a loss of 1 yard for Martini. Brings up 4th and 4 and a punting situation.
I think that was Heron on the carry, actually.
For Appleton North. Yeah. Was that what they had it? Okay.
I think Martini ran through the hole and Heron had the ball.
-1 yards on that carry then for Heron. I'll see what I can do if I can bring it up. As we have, look out, Mike.
Low snap.
Yeah, it was, but somehow he got it off, though it is a short punt, but takes a little bit of an Appleton North bounce again. Oh, boy, that could have been disastrous, Mike, for Appleton North. As the punter, that's
Hayden Littleton?
Yeah, Hayden Littleton, the sophomore punter. Mike, he had to weave through traffic there.
Ricardo, the defense, it's ingrained in your mind to not rough the kicker.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
The two Neenah guys that were close, it's like they didn't really want to hit him for fear of roughing, but I think they could have probably brought him down before he got the kickoff, but it all worked out well for Neenah. They got the ball near midfield.
First down and 10 at the 48 for the Rockets. Their last possession ended on a 75-yard touchdown to Stockman. As here's McClowry. Oh, McClowry to McClowry. Do not connect there.
Close to a lateral. Would have put the ball back about 5 yards, but refs ruled that that was a forward pass.
Second down and 10 from the 48.
Neither team getting really anything going on the ground tonight so far, Ricardo. What movement they've had has been through the air.
So here's McClowry with the 3-receiver set. I was just going to say, Mike, the run game has not been a factor here for the Rockets. Whoa, that was a high snap, and look out! McClowry trying to recover it, and he will, but way back inside the 30, Mike. Oh, boy.
Good job just to fall on the ball. Ethan Post was from the north, was ready to pounce on the ball if McClowry didn't get it.
And that ball is now at the 28, so a loss of 20 yards, Mike. Third down and 30.
What do you call up? What do you call up in the Neenah huddle for third and 30?
Screen time or a handoff is what I would do.
Third and 30 going into the breeze. What do you call? We'll see what they do here. And McClowry fakes it and keeps it himself.
So not a good offensive series for Neenah. I'm sure that's something they'll try to correct at halftime or before their next possession. Brings up a 4th and 29 and a punting situation for Neenah, so that near block of a punt does not affect.
There you see Rosie with the camera on the flags, and you can see the flags blowing here at Paul Engen Field.
Hey, Rosie.
High kick off the side of Van Dyke's foot. I think this one's going to come up pretty far.
As Rosie's going to try to make sure that we have our buddy Ken. See, that's Ken. That's our buddy Ken. Ken, the official, right there. Look at this guy, huh? Burly man. Lions fan, by the way, Mike. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yes, a big Lions fan. So he's had it rough.
We won't hold that against him.
But, yeah, we'll see if we can work that into a graphic. What do you say, Rosie? Can we do that? So anytime we bring up Ken, we can maybe go to that graphic.
I don't think Brett's going to like the Ken Cam too much.
Oh, I don't care about Brett. It's our show.
Brett's a straight shooter. He's not going to like that Ken Cam the way we do.
And that quick pass nets a yard. That was to Goy Merrick, I believe. So second down and 9 at the 46 for Appleton North. Sheckelman going deep. Has his man, and that is caught by Funky again. Mikey beat double coverage.
That's just a perfect throw again. We saw that in the first quarter. Cole Schultz had good coverage, was running step to step with Funky. Funky may have had a 1 step of separation, and that's all he needed because that was a perfect throw again from Sheckelman.
34-yard gain, but boy, and I know Coach Salm he just doesn't dole out, praise like that before a guy who hasn't even really played yet. But he said, hey, Sheckelman has all the tools. He could be as talented as any guy we've had here, and they've had some good ones, Mike.
Absolutely, including Carter Robinson last year.
Look at that, Funky again. Funky's a quick little kid. That's down just shy of a first down.
Yeah, just shy of a first down, about the 2-yard line. Sheckelman had a receiver coming clear and heading towards the corner of the end zone, but he decided to take the check down right away, and it turned out to be a good call. Picked up 9 yards.
The second down and 1.
Tight formation here for the Lightning.
From just shy of the 2, and that's a touchdown. Do you see who got that? Is that Martini?
I think that's Martini, yep.
I see a big kid. And that is Martini. So a 2-yard touchdown for the big sophomore. 13-7 lead for Appleton North.
Another impressive drive there by the Lightning, Ricardo. Set up a little bit by the short punt by Van Dyke, which again was into the wind. The extra point is good. So on our Verlo Mattress Factory scoreboard, Appleton North leads Neenah 14-7 with 7:46 to go in the second quarter. Short field there for the Lightning to work with, and they took advantage of it. Of course, the long pass by Shuffleman down the right sideline put them in real good position.
And again, Shackleman, boy, he looks good. I like the young kid. There's a lot of the young sophomore quarterbacks playing big roles for teams this season. Really more underclassmen as a whole.
It's all the advent of these 7-on-7 passing leagues that all spring and summer. These
development's quicker, huh?
Yeah, these quarterbacks, they've got a lot of experience by the time they get to the high school level.
That ball goes into the end zone.
Yeah, Sam Young was back deep. He maybe could have made a play on the ball. Figured we're just better off to take the touchback. Friday the 13th tonight, Ricardo.
Yeah.
Also a full moon.
Full moon. Rosie, can you get it on that full moon? It's
Rosie says he can't see it. It's that big giant thing in the sky that we're looking at.
It's a bigger pizza pie. That's what they call it, amore.
Oh, Rosie says that the light standard is in the way. He can't get the moon. So, all
that's
right.
too bad. As number 27, that's Bartlett for Neenah. Trying to make his way through the middle of a scrum. Ball will be placed just shy of the 24, so we'll call it a 4-yard gain. 2nd down and 6 for the Rockets.
Approaching 7 minutes left in the second quarter here, Ricardo. There it is. Now Rosie's got the got the moon.
Beautiful.
It's a really nice picture.
Attaboy, Rosie. Earning those big dollars. 2nd down and 6 from the 24 for Neenah. We have I want to say it might be some offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think Max Carpenter, the left end there for the Lightning, jumped a little bit, got a little bit off balance, tried to hold himself up, and just couldn't stop himself from going across the line.
So brings up a 2nd and 2 from the 28 for the Rockets. Much more manageable 2nd down here. Maybe they take a shot deep, huh? What do you think, Mike? Their big play has been a 75-yard touchdown reception. Stockman from McClowry. Here's McClowry, and they do go to the air on a timing pattern. It was just off a little bit. That was too young. Sam Young, I should say. So incomplete pass, 3rd down and 2 coming up.
Well, it's hindsight, but I would have ran it there on 2nd and 2.
Oh, listen,
I know.
Good call there, Mike.
Yeah. Hey, I'll wait till the play's over, and then I'll tell you what I would have done.
Get 6:36 left here on your Verlo Mattress scoreboard. 14-7 lead for Appleton North. But a good game overall between these two teams, both 2-1, entering tonight's game here at Paul Langen Field on the campus of Appleton North High School. McClowry had a high snap, but able to get that 1st down, it appears.
Well, that's going to be close, Ricardo.
They got past the 30. As I hear an Appleton North defensive coach not happy over here. And that, again, was Bartlett. And it is a 1st down.
Little slamming of some stuff in the coach's booth to the left of us.
Yes. You know, I really need to invest in some binoculars, Mike, because that's what Brett has. He has the Bushnells.
Yeah, I got some of those. Should have brought them.
1st and 10 at the 30 for Neenah. There's Bartlett trying to find some room on the perimeter, but no way, says the Appleton North defense.
This North defense just pursues so well. He tried the interior of the line, couldn't get anything there, bounced it outside, couldn't get anything there. By that time, the pursuit was coming from behind.
I want to say Wes King in on the tackle there. Along with Post for Appleton North, as second down and 11 now, loss of 1 yard on that run by Bartlett. And again, the Neenah run game really hasn't been a factor here. Second and 11 at the 29 as McClowry, to younger brother Colin McClowry, and that was eaten up. Who's that defensive back out there, Mike? You see him? I think it's 33 for Appleton North. Zuck.
Sniffed it out. I think it might have been 23.
23, okay.
Gomerick. He sniffed it out. He broke on the ball. That ball was in the air, and he was already flying up to make the tackle.
Well, that's a loss of 5 yards. So Appleton, or Neenah, I should say, going the wrong way. Third down and 16 for the Rockets.
Trips to the right. Single receiver to the left.
That's Stockman over here on the left. So, and it is a to Young. Look out! He can do some moves here. That's Sam Young takes it to the 34. So gain of 4 yards, but falls 6 yards short.
Good play design by the Rockets there. A lot happening. Fake the screen to the left, screen back to the right. But the North defense did a good job of playing their keys and staying where they belonged.
Nearing the 4-minute mark now in the second quarter.
Van Dyke with another kick into the wind coming up here. Turned over pretty well. Did not get a favorable bounce, though.
No. Out of bounds around the 32. Are they going to call it the 31? 3:51 left here in the first half. Plenty of time for Appleton North to do something and build on that lead. They lead 14-7 on your Verlo Mattress scoreboard. Again, Mike, as you talked about earlier, both these teams are playoff teams. We consider them postseason teams. And a big win here, and it's never too early, like you stated, to think about seeding and where you're going to be placed in the tournament. As Shackelman rolling to his left, look out, pull down. Trying to catch that number. Is that
good
30?
job? I think that was Nate Lee again, number 35 coming up. He's made a lot of tackles so far in the first half.
Not what Appleton North wanted at that position or at that situation there, as you look just short of the 30-yard line. Loss of 2 yards. Second down and 12 from the 29. 3 receivers near side. Oh, there's some communication problems going on, Mike.
Definitely some.
Oh, but there's Lee again.
I think that was 51. That was that Reed Keppel who stepped in?
Oh, maybe it was.
Got a hand on that one?
I saw Lee trailing there.
You're right, though. There was some mix-up in the Neenah secondary there. North had 3 receivers out wide to the right, and
I think only 2 were in position to cover, as one was still trying to figure out the defense, and makes it a 3rd and 12. As you see, Rosie, sometime if you can go to the sidelines and watch the 2 folks sending out the signals, one's a dummy, you know.
Wow, easy.
No, I meant like a dummy signal, I'm going to assume, and the other is a real one. Is look at the screen near side, that's Hardy. Look at this, first down, nice play.
Neenah sniffed it out. They had it played pretty well there, but
I agree.
Hardy did a good job of avoiding the first tackler.
I think Reed Keppel had that sniffed out, but Hardy able to get out of trouble. And a first down, big first down for Appleton North as they take it at the 43-yard line.
A little stutter step by Hardy, and then showed some nice acceleration to get to first down.
First down and 10. Nearing midfield, Sheckelman. Nice throw. Oh, incomplete. That was intended for number 13, Isaiah Gonzalez. Second down and 10 at the 43.
Sam Young did a nice job of closing on that ball. Made contact with Gonzalez just about the time the ball arrived.
Oh, they're bringing in big old Borland there. to be at tight end and provide some extra beef up top for Appleton North. Second down and 10 from the 43 for the Lightning. And there's Martini wrapped up and brought down. I mean, I'm not sure if anyone blocked Caden Sell, Mike.
No, he got right through there. It was a great play by Sell. I don't know if Neenah had the right defense called, but Sell slanted right toward the hole, and Martini had nothing he could do there.
Loss of 4 yards for Appleton North brings up a third. What are they calling this? About a 13. 3rd and 13 for Appleton North as they're, you hear the assistants here in Appleton North calling out curl.
Kind of surprised Neenah didn't use one of its timeouts there to stop the clock.
Look out, Sheckelman being chased off the left side and brought down. Blake Dietzen, 6'2", 220-pound defensive lineman, pressuring him from the start, and that's a forgettable series of downs for the Appleton North offense. 4th and 13, Mike, you're right. There's 1:51 left. You felt they were Neenah should have probably tried to call a timeout there.
I think after that 3rd down play, I would have. Yeah, you already had North in an undesirable, 4th or 3rd and 15 or so at that time. But they'll still get the ball back. We're at 1:51 now. They'll still get the ball back with about a minute and 45 to go, and they'll have all 3 of their timeouts.
Ball's taken just short of the 30. That's Young finding some space and still on his feet, Mike.
He's going to go.
Oh, my goodness. Sam Young. And I'll say that was about an
72 yards.
72 yards.
Caught it at the 28. Got the first 15 yards, and then it looked like they had him bottled up.
Little pinball action there.
They had him bottled up, and he just found an opening and took off.
Fantastic return by Young, and some big plays for Neenah, keeping them in this game, actually tying up this game potentially pending the extra point here from Van Dyke. Again, Van Dyke will be heading to Madison. He'll be playing for the Badgers as a special teamer, either a punter or a kicker. He can do both with a plum. Van Dyke trying to tie this game up.
And he does.
So with 1:32 left, Neenah has tied this game up 14-14. I'm going to update my Twitter. You can follow me at PC Ricardo, so check me out there. But, Mike, hey, big plays again for Neenah. That's all, as long as you get them, right? As long as you get in the end zone.
Well, I questioned why Neenah maybe didn't use one of its timeouts there when I thought they could have.
They had a plan.
They had a plan all along. We'll just score on the punt. We won't need our timeouts. It was a good punt there by the Lightning, and they had it covered pretty well, but somehow Young managed to squeeze through some openings there. Didn't look like he had much openings, but he found one. Showed good speed to pull away and got a real good block down here at about the 30-yard line. Got that last block that he needed to have a clear sailing into the end zone. And just like that, on our Verlo Mattress Factory scoreboard, it's 14-14 here in this Valley Football Association crossover game between the Appleton North Lightning and the Neenah Rockets.
Very entertaining game, and I wonder if this is going to come down to the final seconds like last year's game. Again, won by Neenah.
It's been a clean game, Ricardo. Not
oh, you just gave it the kiss of death.
I know I did, but hasn't been a lot of yellow laundry on the field. Hasn't been any turnovers.
And when that happens, we don't have to go to our buddy Ken, the official. Here's Van Dyke ready to kick this one off.
Good kick into the wind.
Oh, yeah, definitely
Strong
into the end zone.
The wind has died down, Ricardo, from the start of the game. The wind, the flag's not blowing like it was, but that's still an impressive kickoff into the wind.
And, Mike, if you remember, and I was talking to Van Dyke earlier. I did a story on him when he committed to Wisconsin. And, he really didn't get into punting or kicking or anything like that until his freshman year. They're like, hey, you look like you could be a kicker. And they just kind of got him in there. He went to a couple camps, got noticed, and look at this. He's a preferred walk-on. Will probably be on scholarship before too long. And that's Martini.
It's interesting how that happens, because usually if, you know, kicking and punting is a unique talent that not a lot of people have, and either you know you have it or you don't. So maybe he didn't. Maybe he just didn't want to kick and kind of got talked into it, or maybe he just really didn't realize that he had the talent to do it.
Well, he has the frame for it, you know, and I you know, not that he reminds me of J.K. Scott, but if you look at J.K. Scott, that's a tall kid. He can boot it, and maybe that's the same kind of things they're looking at him in terms of the physical dimensions that he has, because it's a pretty good kicker, and he's just getting better. So maybe they see potential in the kid.
Van Dyke listed at 6'5", 190, so certainly as a that'd be a little tall, I think, for a place kicker.
That's why we were
but
thinking
as a punter.
Yeah.
A punter, certainly, like you said, you want those tall, lanky, long leg guys to kick the ball.
So I get you some updated scores here as we're looking around the area. Bayport over Southwest, Green Bay Southwest, 28-0, Mike.
Bayport just keeps rolling along. Southwest a little bit down this year.
As we return to action here, again, 2nd down and 7 from the 23. For Appleton North. Kind of a closed formation as a give us to Hardy. Powering his way, but not being able to escape the tackler. Takes it to the 24, maybe a gain of 1 for Hardy.
Just a real nice job again by Sam Young there on the tackle. Looked like Hardy was going to break free, and Young just did not let go.
Now, did Neenah call a timeout here? They did, so they're trying to get the ball back here, Mike. Or maybe just get into the hands of Young again on a punt return, 3rd down and 6 from the 24 for Appleton North. Let's see if I can get you some other scores. A lot of action going on in the area. Armrow leading WLA 6-0, Mike. You know I got to put my Farm Row Foxes up there.
Yeah, how'd that China Bowl game go
Oh,
for
it was
them,
horrible.
Ricardo? Yeah.
They got whipped. 40-0. 40-0. Chilton leads Two Rivers 21-0, Mike. Tigers could be 4-0. Might have to give them some love.
Yeah, quality football team. See anything on Hilbert and Cedar Grove, Belgium yet? That's a big game in the Big East Conference tonight.
No, but Manitowoc and Sheboygan North are 7-7.
Manitowoc's improved a little bit this year. Greg Enns is the coach there at
Yes, he
Manitowoc
is.
now, the former Little Shoot coach. And
They need to return to prominence, Manitowoc. I'll have something to mention about them on our next little break here.
They move with the realignment next year for football
Yes.
only. They'll certainly benefit from some of the teams that are in that conference next year.
Shuckleman. Oh, he had a man as you hear the assistance from Appleton North. That was a difficult throw, but connecting with number 32 for Appleton North. That's Trenton Blackman.
That play took a long time to develop. Shuckleman had some receivers. I think the North coaches in the booth next to us thought he had somebody open sooner than he did.
But a 14-yard gain and a 1st down, Mike, here as we're nearing 108, or we are at 108 in the first half. Time is rolling, though, for Appleton North. And there's, Martini knocking over guys.
Delivered a blow there.
Yes, he did.
He only got 2 yards, but he got his money's worth out of those 2 yards.
2-yard gain for Martini. But a night of headaches for the defender. 2nd down and 7. We'll call it 3 yards for Martini. As Sheckelman. Almost in his hands, Mike, but he lost control to win out of bounds.
Alex Horan there on the route again, the wheel route.
Are you noticing that Appleton North has closed their offensive?
Their splits on the line.
I mean, it's they're not really like trying to spread out the Neenah defense anymore. I'm not sure if that's from a lack of, or maybe they see something on, from previous plays, or if they're just trying to give Sheckelman maybe a little more protection. But you only have one guy out here near side. As now the give is to Martini, and he's taken out of bounds.
We get some good commentary from the North coach staff next to us, in the booth next to us. They're lamenting things that are seen and not seen by the players down on the field. Of course, it's always easier when you're sitting up top here.
31.9 seconds left, Mike, on your Verlo Mattress scoreboard. Neenah has a chance to do something here. Perhaps take a couple pops in the end zone if they can get a good return from Young. So again, if you haven't heard, Kimberly started their game against Spash a little late. They had a blown out tire. So that started at 8 o'clock, Mike.
So that probably hasn't even kicked off yet.
No, it has not.
As we approach the 8 o'clock hour here.
And we have a penalty.
Delay a game on the Lightning, Ricardo. That'll push them back 5 more yards. Neenah's not going to have a lot of time, Ricardo, to try to push the ball down the field, but like you said, they'll have enough time to take a few cracks at it if they want to throw deep. They may just take a knee or run the ball once and let the clock run out too and go into halftime. They certainly got to be happy going into halftime tied if that's the case.
Nice punt. Beautiful punt. Young taken all the way back inside the 20. And that's a block in the back, and Young's still
Young's fighting. He's fighting for every yard he can get. It's not going to matter because of the penalty.
Schultz with the block in the back. Even know if it was really needed. But 14.8 seconds left. I'm going to guess that with the penalty, they'll be inside their 20 and probably just want to kneel on this bad boy and get it out of here because that's a pretty nice first half for Neenah, I would think. Boy, Mike, we're talking about Manitowoc. You know, Neenah was a bit of a slumbering program, and now they're kind of back in the playoff hunt. Fond du Lac, remember, for the longest time, they were really struggling until Jorgensen and company went down there and kind of turned that around. And then you see Manitowoc, but in the 80s, they're a very good team. Remember, we talk about Kimberly's 70-game win streak. Actually, Manitowoc was the team before it that had the 48-game win streak. In the 80s, they were a powerhouse, Mike.
Yeah, they were. They were. When you talked about elite programs in the state back then, the Manitowoc was certainly near the top of the list. It'd be nice to get them back up there.
As we see a kneel down to end the first half. 14-14, entertaining game on your Verlo Mattress scoreboard. Lots of big plays in this one here and setting up a real nice second half between these two playoff contenders. See if I can run down maybe some of the scoring here, Mike. Usually Brett has that all because he's such a, how do you say it? He's very organized with that.
What are you saying, Brett?
No, I'm not saying about you.
Are you saying Brett's more organized than me?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that he has his little ways that he does things.
Brett, I'll say it. Brett's more talented than I am.
I'm not saying that.
I am. He can do a lot more than I can do.
Kyle Funky, 7-yard touchdown catch, started the scoring off. That was 4:55 left in the first quarter. Then, Mike, we had the big pass play. Remember that? That was Stockman, 75-yard touchdown from McClary with 38.8 seconds left. That tied the game at 7-7. Then a Martini 2-yard plunge, 14-7 lead for Appleton North. 7:46 left in the second quarter. And then, of course, the most recent score with 1:32 left in the fourth. Sam Young, a 72-yard punt return for a touchdown. That's your scoring in tonight's game. Again, we're here at Paul Engen Field for tonight's Valley Football Association crossover game between Appleton North of the North Division and Neenah of the South Division.
Score for you, Ricardo. Pulaski leading Preble with a minute left in the first half. 14-0 Pulaski over Green Bay Preble.
Well, Preble's really struggling.
At halftime, Wisconsin Rapids is leading the Appleton West Hares 14-0.
Okay. Too bad for Appleton West. They had the big win over Marshfield. Remember that?
Yeah, that
to
was
start off the year.
Win, right. Another halftime score. Speaking of Marshfield, Kaukauna 14, Marshfield 0.
Kaukauna is undefeated.
This Lightning team plays Kaukauna next week, right?
They do. Don't sleep on the Ghosts. They have you want to know why, Mike? They have one of the top quarterbacks in the area, Noah Van Asten.
Yes, they do. Manitowoc, as you talked about, Manitowoc leading 14-7 at halftime over Sheboygan North. Appleton East leading at halftime over Oshkosh North, 28-0.
We got to get Appleton East in one of our live streams, Mike.
Appleton East looking to go to 4-0 as well.
And then what are they, 1 win away from a playoff spot, right?
Yep. Next week, Appleton East plays Kimberly next week. So certainly going from Oshkosh North to Kimberly next week, that'll be a jump.
Little jump in talent level.
But Appleton East is definitely year 2 with Coach Kromnacher. Mark Kromnacher is their coach. Year 2, they're definitely a team and a program on the rise. I know the players have really bought into what Coach Kromnacher wants to do, you know, in the weight room, off the field, on the field. They've really bought into his system.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Mike, what are your thoughts on some of the area stuff? Because for those who don't know, Mike Sherry is our sports planning editor, but he really is in tune with what's going on with the pulse of prep sports, because you're there every night with our part-timers taking calls, not just from football, from volleyball, and all the other sports. So you want to think of a guy who's in the know about a lot of different things. That's my man, Mike Sherry here, who I want to talk specifically football. We talked about Appleton East. A couple other surprising teams that are undefeated. Me and Brett were talking about this too. Well, Chilton, Brillion, and not since the Pete Kittle days has Brillion been undefeated. And I know I'm missing a couple more, but are you a little surprised at how this season has unfolded?
Well, let's talk about Chilton first. Chilton's had some good teams the last few years. Real strong defense. They've had some real strong defense the last few years, and now they're putting together some offense to go with it. And then you mentioned Brillion, like you said, not since the Pete Kittle days. Brillion's had some down years, unfortunately for them. The last couple, 3 or 4 years have been a little bit on the downside, but yeah, definitely a team on the rise as well.
A team that we don't really talk about too much too, that I have in my G10 is Hilbert. I'm really curious to see, was that game tonight against Cedar Grove, Belgium?
Yes.
Yep. That's a game I want to see. Even though Cedar Grove, Belgium's a couple divisions higher than Hilbert, still, I really think Hilbert has a good shot at doing stuff in the postseason just because they dropped down a couple divisions. So the Hilbert Wolves, I'm a big fan of them.
Yeah, well, that's the game of the year in the Big East Conference, Ricardo, is when Hilbert and Cedar Grove, Belgium play each other, without a doubt.
We're at halftime here at Paul Lincoln Field, Appleton North High School. The Lightning hosting the Neenah Rockets, and both teams coming in with a 2-1 record, and the game is tied at 14 between these two teams. We saw a good one last week, Mike, with Kimberly and Fond du Lac, with Kimberly winning that one in overtime on that 6-yard touchdown run from Caleb Frazier. But me and Brett, what do you think about me and Brett's assertion that those two teams, along with Bayport, are the big three kind of to look at in Division I? No disrespect to Appleton North and Neenah, but over the last couple of years, I think they've kind of separated themselves.
You mean in this area, right?
Yeah, in this area.
Okay, because some people down in Muskego might.
That was an anomaly. Flash in the pan.
Flash in the pan. Ricardo's calling
Muskego
flash in the pan.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that. They've
Mike, their first 2 wins were against teams, or the first 2 wins were against teams with a combined 1-3 record. I know that people think highly of Arrowhead, and which they haven't done anything in 4 or 5 years. And who was the other team? I think it was Marquette, who's now 0-3.
Yeah. No, I know, but Muskego is definitely a power. They've followed the template that other of these great programs have done, like Fond du Lac and Kimberly before them. You build up a strong weight room program, you get your kids out for track in the spring, you get faster, you get stronger, and you see the rewards in the fall then on the football field. But yeah, certainly, Ricardo, what you say, the teams in our area, certainly Kimberly and Bayport, for the Division I teams, without a doubt. Appleton North certainly thinks it's going to be part of that as well. Another score update. FVL has scored again. Foxes lead Little Chute 14-0 now.
Well, that was an interesting one to watch, because both those teams entered that game undefeated, right? I mean, Little Chute. No, FEL lost last week to Wrightstown.
Lost to Wrightstown 20, was it 26-24?
Yeah, very close game.
2-point game.
Really turned head. Sometimes a loss is, I don't want to say a win in that manner, but that probably gave them confidence they can play with it. Wrightstown's very highly regarded, and now they're taking it to Little Chute, the defending NEC champs.
New coach at FEL this year. I was at their training camp this year, talking to some of the kids and the new coach, and they were confident that they were going to be a good team. Of course.
Let me ask you something, Mike. Are you regretting the decision to wear shorts today?
Absolutely not, Ricardo.
You look a little cold, my friend.
No, not at all. You know me. I'll be out. I'll be shoveling in January with shorts on. So.
Well, I have another score here. Winneconne is losing to Kewaskum 13-7 at halftime. Winneconne undefeated going into that game.
Another score from the Valley Football Association, Ricardo. Oshkosh West 17, Wausau West 0.
Okay.
So Oshkosh West doing some damage tonight.
Here at halftime at Paul Engen Field, Neenah and Appleton North both tied at 14-14. Trying to get you some more updated scores here as we go around the Valley. Kimberly is up 7-0 over Spash early in the first.
Around the Valley and around the state.
As
you said, Arrowhead, you just talked about Arrowhead. Arrowhead leading Waukesha West 17-0.
Maybe Arrowhead will pick up his first win of the year.
Ricardo, let's do some halftime stats here. Thank compliments of our friends at Appleton North football.
Okay.
Appleton North with 190 total yards in the first half, only 18 on the ground, 172 through the air. Neenah with 84 yards in the ground, 84 yards total for Neenah, 104 passing, minus 20 yards for Neenah.
Yeah, they got to get that run game. I mean, I know they've hit on some big plays, especially the special teams. You can't count on that in the second half, though. And look, it was a nice pass play to Stockman, but that was really a breakdown in the secondary for Appleton North, a missed tackle. But other than those two plays, they really haven't done much, and I think the ground game has to get things going for Neenah to kind of find that balance on offense.
Scheckelman has completed 14 out of 20 passes for 172. Martini's rushed 9 times, just 18 yards so far, as we've talked about, trouble getting the run game going. Funky's caught 6 balls for 96 yards in the first half.
Guy.
So as we talked about, it's been pretty much all passing so far in this ball game tonight, Ricardo.
Still at halftime here. Just over 5 minutes left. At Paul Engen Field, always kind of funny to watch Paul Engen himself walking down the sidelines. The field named right after him.
I said hi to him, talked to him for a brief minute when I came in tonight.
We saw his son Brent Engen here.
Yeah, we did.
He's doing color for I forgot. Is it the score?
The score, I think, is here tonight.
And it's always good to visit with Brent. Good guy.
As you said, Ricardo, it's halftime here at Paul Engen Field, and a look at our Verlo Mattress Factory scoreboard shows the Appleton North Lightning and the Neenah Rockets tied 14-14 in this Week 4 prep football matchup.
Yeah, I want to say thanks again to our sponsor, Verlo Mattress Factory of Appleton, Green Bay, Oshkosh, Fond du Lac, and Sturgeon Bay. Their craftsmen manufacture your bed on site with unmatched quality and customer service. Stop in today for their mega mattress clearance sale. Also, Verlo Mattress Factory offers free delivery and setup with set purchases. And they can make custom mattresses to fit boats, RVs, semi-trucks, antique beds, and more. Plus, air beds are on sale, up to $400 off on the air beds. Once again, just want to thank you again to our sponsor, Verlo Mattress of Appleton, Green Bay, Oshkosh, Fond du Lac, and Sturgeon Bay.
Nobody reads a promo better than Ricardo, folks.
Well, when I can get them right. But no, we thank you, Verlo. We really appreciate you guys coming on board. Can't wait to have a great prep season here, and can't wait for some of these big games that they're going to sponsor. And by the end of the day, by the end of the season, everyone's going to have a Verlo mattress, Mike.
Ricardo, let's do a little update of the defensive stats for the first half.
Okay.
Sam Tao for the Lightning, 4.5 tackles, including 1.5 tackles for a loss. Wes King, 3 tackles, including a sack and 2 tackles for loss. And then Wilson Zuck with 2 tackles for the Lightning in the first half.
Mike, Bayport leads Green Bay Southwest 28-0, and look who's back. Look who's back. Isaiah Gash. 82 yards, 2 touchdowns for Gash. Andrew Thomas with a touchdown rushing and passing. And the Pirate defense has held Southwest to minus 15 yards rushing. And how about big old Jose Ramirez? According to the Bayport radio, he's doing some work up front. That's a big kid, Mike. He's 4 bills, 400 pounds, that kid. But, man, he can move pretty well for a big guy.
I wonder if Verlo Mattress makes a mattress for him.
The Jose Special.
The Jose Special. Kimberly scored again. 6 minutes left in the first half at Gerke Field and Point, and Kimberly leads Stevens Point 14-0.
Couple minutes away from the start of the second half here at Paul Engen Field. Thank you for joining us. Hey, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the week, what goes on during the week, Mike. Now, I got to get that podcast up there, Rosie, but we do tape those every week. I'll have that up tonight. It's the R&B Show podcast. You can find that on Stitcher, Google Play, and iTunes. It's the only podcast dedicated to high school sports in the Fox Valley area. We kind of do a recap of what happened in week 3 of the high school football season. Also talk a little girls volleyball, boys volleyball. So the new podcast will drop tonight. So be sure to check that out. Again, subscribe on iTunes, Google, or Stitcher Play, or Stitcher or Google Play. Did I say that right? Yeah. And just look for Ricardo Arguello. You'll be able to find the R&B Show podcast. Subscribe, leave a comment, even if you hate us. Leave it anyway.
Especially if you hate them.
Especially if you hate me.
That's right.
Every Wednesday night, we have the Varsity Roundtable, the only online high school sports talk show in the state. This past week, we had Kimberly boys volleyball players, Rosie. Bunch of good guys. Tony Wisniewski, Landon Krause. The top-ranked boys volleyball team, Mike.
I was just going to say, Paper Rank Makers ranked number 1 in the state.
A lot of expectations there, Mike. I could feel the confidence from those kids. They really think they can do something. Remember, they made it to the championship game last year.
They did, and the best part this year, the boys' state championship will be held up at the Rush Center in Green Bay.
Thank you for that. That's true. So the boys and girls volleyball championships are now at the Rush Center. At first, I was against that idea, Mike, because Milwaukee Lutheran is very special to me. It's a beautiful campus, so easy to get to. But you know what? It makes a whole lot of sense to have the boys and the girls volleyball the same area. That's a great Saturday, championship Saturday. You have the 4 girls volleyball championships and the boys. So
do we know yet when they're going to do the boys championship?
I don't know if that's going to be the morning session to kick off everything, and then they have the 4 girls, or if they have the boys after. I'll just double check that. But that's going to be a big day for volleyball, all up at the Rec Center, so no excuse for any of you not to be there. It's not in Milwaukee anymore. It's at Green Bay at the Rec Center.
I always wonder what the teams that are in the Fox Valley feel about the state tournaments being so close, like at the Rec Center. Do they feel like they miss out on that experience of going to Milwaukee or going to Madison and staying in a hotel overnight and all that stuff?
Well, I talked to the boys volleyball players, and they were excited to just go, to have more fans up there and just to have it in Green Bay.
That's the thing. You're going to get more fans up in Green Bay, especially because boys volleyball, obviously the Milwaukee area has got a lot of good teams, but so does the Fox Valley. So if you get a Kimberly or an Appleton North, which is ranked, high in the state for boys volleyball, if they make it up there this year, or even Kaukauna, if one of them sneaks through, I think you get more fans up there at the Resch than you would down at Milwaukee Lutheran.
Well, when I was talking to Steph Hauser, associate director there at the WIA, I was telling him about, how is the southeastern part of the state kind of upset because a lot of the teams are there from that area. There's only a handful of teams up outside, in Madison and in the Valley. She said that was a concern, that some of them were not happy about moving in. But then when you look at the logistics part of it, that also cuts down on the WA and how much they have to spend. You know what I mean? All the staff is already there for the girls volleyball championship. So then you add in the boys. It just makes sense in a lot of ways.
Well, it makes sense, and the bottom line is you're playing in the state tournament.
Yeah.
Whether you're playing in Milwaukee or you're playing at the Resch Center or in Madison or wherever it's being held, if you're one of the teams to make it to the state tournament, you're going to embrace that opportunity no matter where you're playing.
Yeah, and I was talking to some of the Kimberly boys volleyball players. You know, they haven't played in an environment like that. They haven't never been on the rec center court, so I wonder how that's going to play. That's a storyline to watch when I know one of our teams is going to make it. Either them or Appleton North, or one of our teams makes it there every year. So it'll be entertaining to watch.
Absolutely. You know what else will be entertaining to watch, Ricardo, is the second half here at Paul Engen Field. 14-14 tie. We're about a minute away from the second half kickoff. You
know what's going to be also entertaining, Mike? Watch me as I shiver here, as I didn't bring should have brought some sort of overcoat.
Weak.
I am.
You're
I'm getting very weak in my old age in terms of my tolerance to cold.
I can go get you hot chocolate if you want.
You might have to.
Rosie.
Look at Rosie.
Rosie is bundled up. He looks cold, but he's out in the elements doing the great camera work that he always does. But he's out in the elements, Ricardo. You're up here.
I'm in posh situations compared to Rosie half the time.
We joke about it though, but the way the wind is blowing, I bet the east sideline that Neenah's on and the Neenah fans definitely
they're getting the brunt of it.
They're getting the brunt of the breeze over there, and definitely looks colder on that side of the field.
As we see the teams starting to stretch a little bit, this always annoys Brett when they throw a couple more minutes on, Mike.
We're not going to stand for that.
No.
Let's go. Kick it off right now. Ricardo's got places to be.
Back in the office as we put together my recap on this game and takeaways from around the valley.
That'll be online tomorrow afternoon on postcrescent.com and in print Sunday morning. And if you haven't checked it out, Ricardo does a fantastic Friday Night Rewind video every Friday night. We got some video clips from games. We got photos from our fantastic photographers who are out shooting games. And then we'll run down all the scores for you. It's a nice about 2.5 minute video. Everything you need to know about what happened on Friday night. Also on postcrescent.com.
There you go. And that's our guy right there. Good. Look at Rosie and Johnny on the spot as he takes a picture. Is that Dan Powers, our buddy?
That is our buddy Dan Powers, working hard as always.
Let me tell you something about Dan Powers now. He's shooting this North Neenah game, but this is a guy, Mike, that has covered Super Bowls. He's covered the Olympics. How many Olympics has he covered? Winter and summer.
At least 4, I think.
So this is a world-class guy here. He's taking photos of this game. That's the kind of talent we have for you on postcrescent.com.
Speaking of photographers, we'd be remiss if we did not wish a fond farewell to Danny Damiani, one of our standout photographers. Today was his last day working for the Post Crescent and USA Today Network. He heads off to Lawrence University. We wish him well.
Great guy, good friend. As we start the second half at the 10, is that Young with the ball? And a good return out to the 30-yard line, or I should say, yeah, it's right at the 30. That's where Neenah will start. First and 10 from the 30 with 11:53 left, just underway here in the second half. We're going to call it 31.
And you look at the flags now, Ricardo. It's definitely the wind has slowed down. For what wind there is, though, Neenah will be going into it in the third quarter, which means they'll have the wind at their back in the fourth quarter if it comes down to, you know, a tie game or Van Dyke or anybody needing to kick a field goal at the end of the game. Neenah will have the wind at its back to end the game.
First and 10 at the 31. McClowry through receivers near side. The give is off the right side, and finding a hole is Colin McClowry. Working on that -20 in rushing yardage, right? I think is what they had it at.
Yeah. Appleton North's official halftime stats had him at -20 yards in the first half, so now they're at -13.
Second down and 3 from the 38. 7-yard gain for Colin McClowry.
Cambrick came up and made a nice tackle there to keep him to a 7-yard gain.
Here's McClowry now having Young in motion. Oh, and the fumble on the play, and it looks like Appleton North got it.
Watch and see who comes out of there.
Number 33 for Appleton North had the ball in his hand. That's Zuck. Zuck always seems to be around the ball. But, Mike, a bad exchange. And that's the last thing the Rockets wanted to see. So Zuck with the recovery.
Yeah, McClowry just never got the ball into him, and Once it's on the ground, Ricardo, as you know, that scrum for the ball is anybody's ball, and Zuck was Johnny on the spot.
1st and 10 from the 37. Here's Shekelman. That's almost picked off. Kazuba had his big old mitts on that, and Mike, he just feels sick to his stomach because that was right into his hands. They tried to do a quick hitter. Kazuba was all over that.
Yeah, you don't get a lot of opportunities from that outside linebacker position to pick one off. You're killing yourself when you can't make that play.
2nd down and 10 from the 37 as North is trying to make Neenah pay for the mistake. Burling in motion. There's Funky, and wrapped up right away. That's Van Dyke.
Neenah starting to inch its corners and safeties a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage. I think they know North has used that quick pass a lot tonight, and they want to get there for the tackle sooner.
2-yard loss on the play. 3rd down and 12 from the 39 for Appleton North, and big series here for Neenah, Mike, if they can escape without allowing any points. As Burling again is in motion for the Lightning. Look out! Timing route, and again, Kasuba having a good series here. He was there with the pressure, Mike, and he took Shekelman to the ground on that timing play, blew it up, and incomplete pass. Now, is this going to, it looks like it's going to be a punting situation. So great defensive series for the Rockets.
Kazuba got to Shekelman, made him throw it a little bit earlier than he wanted to. Funky was just coming open on that out route there, but the ball had already been thrown. Watch for a fake here, Ricardo. This is where the place on the field where a fake is definitely an option.
Neenah sending the house, as Young is going to let that one not go into the end zone. What a nice play by the special teams. Right down at the 1. I'm trying to see the number on that.
I think that's Riley Gibbs, number 27, was down there. That ball landed real soft, Ricardo. Took a nice hop for the Lightning, and Gibbs was there to grab it. So now if you're Neenah, with 10 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, all you got to do is go about 99.5 yards.
This is where mistakes are really magnified. So now if you're Neenah, a fumble, an interception is critical here.
That center exchange, the
exactly.
The halfback or the handoff to the running back, you got to be careful on all those.
Here's McLaury. Look out, don't get out of the end zone, as I think he forgot, Mike, as you saw him catching his feet. That didn't look good from the start, so 2nd down and 10 from the 1 on that incomplete pass.
Yeah, he was about 6 yards deep in the end zone when he took the shotgun snap, and then dropped back about 2 more yards and said, I can't go any farther.
2nd down and 10 from the 1. Oh, if you're a Rockets fan, you're playing with fire here.
And a huge series, of course, for the Lightning here. If they can force them to a quick 3 and out, they'll have excellent field position.
Again, 14-14 on your Verlo Mattress scoreboard. Trips to the right of McLaury. Oh, high snap, Mike, and what did we say? That is going to be a safety. So went right through McLaury's hands. The high snap, well, I don't even know if it was really that high. I think he just missed he didn't secure it, did McLaury.
Looked like a pretty good snap, I thought. It was up, it was about shoulder level, and it just kind of popped through his hands. Maybe he was looking at the offensive line or looking at the defense to see what the alignment was, and maybe just wasn't quite ready for the snap.
16-14 Appleton North after that safety, and they'll get the free kick as well. So the great punt, the nice, what was it, pinned down at the 1, and who was it? Gibbs, who had the
Riley
nice
Gibbs.
Special teams
Yes.
play. And look at that. That leads to the 2-point safety. If you're Appleton North, you're going to get the ball back as well.
And if you're Neenah, that's not the way you wanted this half to start, Ricardo. 2 possessions, and they've turned it over twice.
So with 10:07 left here in the 3rd quarter, 16-14 lead for Appleton North. Again, both teams are 2-1 entering tonight's game. Both have been consistent playoff qualifiers the past several years. Well, for Appleton North, 15. And 6 for Neenah. So you expected a good game. That's what we got. And that Appleton North defense setting the tempo early here in the second half.
If you're Neenah here, you need Van Dyke to unload a good kick. The wind is whipping up pretty good again on the flag at the north end of the football field here at Paul Engen Field. The return men for the Lightning are lined up at about the 20-yard line. So they're going to get excellent field position here, Ricardo.
Okay, so here's where Van Dyke again plays a role, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
So he can help out his team here with a solid boot.
It was an excellent kick.
That is an excellent kick. Inside the 10 to the 5. And look at that.
That's really about as good as you could have hoped if you're Neenah there. Van Dyke with an excellent kick sent Preston Van Offeren of the Lightning all the way back inside the 10-yard line.
Caden Duncan with the nice special teams tackle for Neenah. Again, 16-14 lead for Appleton North on your Verlo Mattress scoreboard. Thank you again for Verlo Mattress for being our sponsor. First down and 10. Oh, and that's intercepted. Is that Elkin? Elkin to the 5, inside the 5, down to the 4. Oh, Mike, you've been talking about how they've been looking at the short passes, and Elkin, I think that was just a poor pass from Scheckelman. I mean, I think Elkin, it was right to him.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Scheckelman thought he saw there. North had a deep route, an out route, but Scheckelman decided to throw the shorter route. And I'm not sure what he saw there, but Elkin was right in the path of the throw. And just like that, Neenah goes from being buried in its own end zone and turning the ball over on a safety to now they're inside the Appleton North 5-yard line.
Call it the 4, first down, goal to goal. And that is handed off to McClowry. Colin McClowry, he's in for the score. Wow.
What a momentum shift there, Ricardo.
9:43 left in the third quarter, and Colin McClowry with the 4-yard touchdown run for Neenah.
Just like that, Neenah's up 20-16 with Van Dyke coming on to try the extra point. We talked about the first half being a clean first half, Ricardo, and now the second half has been an entirely different story for both teams.
What a turn of events here at Paul Engen Field, and Van Dyke's kick is up and good. So the Elkin interception sets up the short touchdown run from Colin McClowry, and Neenah with the 21-16 lead. So I'm updating my Twitter. Again, follow me at PC Ricardo. Mike's at, is it Mike Sherry 14? And Rosie's at Middle Rosie.
And now if you're Coach Solom, you got to get the momentum back on your side. You got to tell your guys to forget about what just happened. Forget about the last 30 seconds. That's a gut punch, Ricardo, when you just get the safety. Just take the lead on the safety, and then just like that, you turn the ball over that quick again. So now, and you know, if you're Neenah now, you're coming out here. Definitely your spirits are high.
Yeah, 9:43 left here in the third quarter. Already had a bunch of action so far. As Van Dyke now gets ready to kick off from his own 40. Nice crowd on hand here as that one goes into the end zone. Funky will just have to let that one go. And Appleton North will come back out trying to get something going on offense from its own 20.
I don't like that rule in high school where if the kickoff goes into the into the end zone. It's an automatic touchback and can't bring it out.
Yeah, that's been a rule for a while. Maybe our buddy Ken can give us some.
I don't know if that's a safety thing that they put that rule in
thoughts
ago or what.
Thoughts on that, but yeah. As there's Martini wrapped up. Not much there. Gain of about 2 yards. 2nd down and 8 for Appleton North. As I wonder if this will spark the Appleton North defense. I mean, they had the big pick. Second down and 8 again from the 22 for Appleton North. 4 receivers set with Martini in the backfield, along with Sheckelman. Again, nothing there, and number 15 for Neenah.
Tyler Kozlowski.
Yes, nice tackle. No gain. 3rd down and 8 from the 22.
Kozlowski, the right defensive end in the Neenah defense, he just shot a gap in the through the offensive line there and made the play.
Sheckelman looking to the sidelines just to finalize the play. 4 receivers, I'm sorry. Over the middle, almost intercepted again. That was Cole Schultz. I see where he was going with that. I think he was trying to hit Burling along the sideline, Mike, but I don't know if he put enough air under the ball.
Yeah.
Sometimes those are tricky. You got to get it over the defender in the front of the bracket.
Yeah, that's a tough throw to make. Burling was open, but like you said, Schultz was the underneath coverage, and he had to try to get it over Schultz and just threw it a little too far.
Let's look at that, 3 and out. And Neenah will get the ball back. Trying to build on that lead. End over end kick. Oh, Young lets that bounce, and it took a nice Appleton North bounce, I should say, right to the 30.
Yeah, Young raced up like he was going to catch it on a fly, and then at the last second he kind of thought the better of it. Ball landed at 42 and ended up rolling about another 12 yards.
8:18 left here in the 3rd quarter. 21-16 lead for Neenah on your Brillo Mattress scoreboard. Entertaining game between these 2 VFA teams. Appleton North in the North Division and Neenah in the South Division. Neenah trying to keep pace with Hortonville. Undefeated Hortonville is at the top of the standings, Mike.
Polar Bears got a very electric offense. They can put a lot of points on the board.
So 1st down and 10 at the 30 for Neenah. 3 receivers near side. McClowry giving direction. And off the right side is that Colin McClowry again. Look at him finding room. Takes it to midfield, or just past it, I should say, to the 49 of Appleton North.
Gain of about 21 yards there, Ricardo.
What is going on with the Appleton North defense here? They're big chunk play here.
Clowry found a seam out running wide, and then made a nice cutback to get about another 7 or 8 yards after that. And just like that, the Rockets are in Lightning territory.
1st and 10 from the Lightning 49 for McClowry. Sam Young in motion, and the give is McClowry again. Why not? He's finding the holes. Takes it to the 45 and a gain of 4 yards.
Neenah's finding some openings in this half, Ricardo. They could not run the ball at all in the first half.
Now Neenah had a tough loss earlier this year. Was it Appleton East who beat them 17-7?
Correct. Yes.
So it's nice to see them bounce back. I believe they're playing better in tonight's game. You know, when how would I say, when there's been some challenges thrown their way. Something at least to build on here. In the 2nd 6 from the 45 for the Rockets, and McClowry timing pattern out to Stockman. Caught right at the 40. So brings up a 3rd and 1.
That's a long throw, Ricardo. from the right hash mark over to the numbers on the left side of the field. That's a long throw to gain 5 yards.
3rd down and 1. As Borland went in, but now he's back out for Appleton North. That's a big guy off your defensive line as oh boy, McClowry. That didn't look good from the start, Mike.
Now, good penetration again from the middle of the Appleton North defensive line there. Forced McClowry to try to bounce it outside, and nothing doing.
Loss of 4 yards, and we're looking at a 4th and 5 situation from, again, the 44.
Yeah, it's tough for Neenah. You go from a 3rd and 1 where you think you might be in 4-down territory, but then you lose 4 yards, and suddenly now your punter's on the field.
Yeah, but he's doing a good. You might think, well, let's perhaps give this a try. No way. When you have a kicker like Van Dyke, let him do his thing. And there's the boot. Taken right at. Oh, he did not call for the fair catch.
He did not call for the fair catch.
Okay. Call it right at the 12, it looks like.
That's Braden Gomerick on the catch there, Ricardo. I kept watching to see if he was going to put that arm up to call for the fair catch.
No, that was
never did.
Yeah, my fault. I just assumed he was going to. I saw.
And I think the Neenah defender thought he was going to too, because he was right at his feet. Could have brought him down and let him go.
First down and 10 at the 12 with 5:44 left in the third quarter. Burling in motion for Appleton North. Hardy with the carry.
North really hasn't got its running game going yet tonight, Ricardo.
I agree, and that was such a big thing for them in their wins for sure. Ball's at the 14, so a 2-yard gain for Hardy, the junior running back. Neenah's done a good job of holding both him and Martini under wraps. 2nd and 8.
And Martini just 18 yards in the first half.
Sheckelman, a timing route that did not connect. Incomplete. 3rd down and 8 from the 14, and Appleton North struggling to find rhythm here in the second half. They're down 21-16. 5:01 left in the third quarter on your Verlo Mattress scoreboard.
Neenah's doing a good job with its coverages, Ricardo. They're playing man coverage on the outside, but then they've got the safety playing up top, and if North wants to complete some passes, Sheckelman's going to have to squeeze it into some tight windows, I think.
Good call. 3 receivers near side. Martini in the backfield. And look out. Trying to get his way out of trouble. Look at it. He finds Funky for the first down. 10-yard gain. Needed 8, got 10.
And that was a good throw. Again, another one of those throws where you're throwing from middle of the field all the way to the sideline. That ball's in the air for a long time.
I think he did a good job of evading pressure too, Mike. Again, that's Sheckelman, the sophomore quarterback for Appleton North. There's Martini off the left side, met by a few defenders and then eventually a host of defenders.
About seven guys for the Rockets bringing them down there.
2 yards for Martini brings up a 2nd and 8 from the 26 for Appleton North. And, they've really struggled this half, Mike. Really just a handful of yards. They've had the interception, a couple of 3-and-outs. Really struggling. In fact, that first down pass, Mike, was their first down of the half. 2nd and 8, near side, and it was caught for a small gain, for a yard gain, I should say.
Isaiah Gonzalez was the receiver there. Again, Van Dyke was on the coverage. He let the receiver on the outside go deep because he knew he had help, and he came up quick and closed quick on the short route.
Really nice to see Neenah really kind of close up defensively. They've been playing very well. I'm sure Coach Young is very happy with this performance. Is a screen set up to Hardy, and they can't connect. And I don't know if that was blown up by the defender. I'm trying to see who helped Hardy up there. The number on that defender, 61?
61.
And we don't have a I don't know if this Neenah varsity football roster is up to date, but we don't. Oh, it's 51. Mike, is that why? Because it's 51. Reed Koppel. Reed Keppel. All right. Well, we were missing a couple of numbers before for Neenah, but Reed Keppel with a nice play as now another punting situation. So the Rockets defense, and depending on what. Oh, and there's a miss snapped. Oh boy, trying to get it out of there. And what a couple of big time goofs by the Appleton North special teams. Oh, this has got to drive Coach Somm crazy. Again, Mike, did that look like a bad snap?
No, the snap was there.
It's just mishandled.
It just went through the. Again, I hate to keep harping on the wind, Ricardo, but I wonder if even on those long snaps, those 12 to 15-yard snaps from the long snapper, if that ball is moving a little bit. Because that was a good snap.
Well, we'll see what the official calls here as.
It's going to be an illegal kicking.
Yes, right. I did see that. The ball hit the ground.
He tried to kick when the ball was on the ground.
But Neenah is right on the doorstep again, Mike, of getting another score.
Both teams this half, Ricardo, kind of been capitalizing on mistakes of the other teams.
That penalty was declined, so it's first down and goal to go from the 4 for Neenah with 3:20 left here in the third quarter. Mike, they lead 21-16, could go up 2 scores here. They're spreading everything out. 4 receivers.
If you're the Lightning, you need to come up with a big stop here. You need to hold them to a field goal.
Bartlett in the backfield. Quick pass. Broken up nicely by Appleton North. Gibbs on the play. Little slant, Mike, that Gibbs was able to break up.
Yeah, he closed quick on that. Got there just in time. Would have been a tough catch. Might have been able to make that catch, but Gibbs with the contact just as the ball was getting there.
Second down, goal to go from the 4. Critical possession here for Neenah, Mike, because if they go up 28-16, that really puts yourself in a nice position here, especially with Appleton North struggling on offense. And
the Rockets are going to call a timeout, Ricardo. I think they know how important this opportunity is to be down here right now, and they don't want to blow it.
3:16 left here in the third quarter. 21-16 lead for Neenah, but Rockets able to recover a muffed punt snap and now have it at the 4 of Appleton North, looking to go up by 2 scores. See if we can update some of these other scores that we have here from around the area. $18-0 Amro over WLA, Mike Sherry.
Why would that be your first score?
Amro 2-2 on the year. My Amro Foxes, my alma mater.
After 3 quarters, Ricardo, Fox Valley Lutheran is still shutting out Little Chute 21-0.
Wow. See if we can find some other scores.
Fond du Lac's leading DC Everest 48-7 in the third quarter. And after 3 quarters, Oshkosh West leading Wausau West 17-0. Now we're back to action. Neenah, second and goal at the 4.
McClowry. It's going to give it to Colin McClowry and nowhere to go. That time, Appleton North's defense wasn't fooled. And it might have been actually a loss of a few yards, Mike. Is that what you see?
Yeah, I think they lost about a yard there, Ricardo. Maybe a yard and a half. I think Liam Cate was in on the play there, Ricardo.
So a few yards loss on that one, so it brings up 3rd and 6 from the 6. Mike, I'm going to guess, is it 4 down territory when you got a kicker like Van Dyke?
See how close they get here, Ricardo. If they don't get inside the 2 or 3 yard line, I'd say, yeah, you got to kick the field goal.
Here's McClowry, throwing it again and too far. Looking for Stockman. But the timing was just off a little bit, and Gibbs again making a nice play. So I see Van Dyke coming out, Mike, and he kicks a field goal and you're up by 8 points. I think it's a smart decision, especially when you have a kicker of his caliber. More than likely it's going to be booted through. This is essentially, a little bit longer than an extra point.
A little more than an extra point, right.
So here's Van Dyke, the Badger recruit.
But an excellent defensive stand there by the Lightning, Ricardo. Defense put in a very tough position, and they rose to the occasion.
23-yard attempt. Up and good. No question about that. So a 23-yard field goal for Van Dyke. Makes it a 24-16 game. So 10 points, Mike, on the turnovers for Appleton North. Costly turnovers is, again, Neenah turns them into 10 points. That's been the tale of the game so far, wouldn't you say?
Well, in the second half, for sure. All the points in the second half, Ricardo, have been scored as a result of turnovers. The Lightning got the safety on their end for their 2 points. And
Good
then
call.
The interception for Neenah, and then the fumbled snap. So gets us to where we are. 2:24 left in the third quarter. 24-16 Neenah on the Verlo Mattress scoreboard. But again, I think if you're Appleton North, you got to feel pretty good about what happened there on defense. It's not too often you get a 1st and goal at the 4 situation and can stop the team from and hold them to just a field goal.
Bayport final. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's not a final. But they lead Southwest 42-0. Appleton West, well, they're within 21-12 of Wisconsin Rapids. 1:05 left in the third quarter. Van Dyke getting ready to kick for Neenah. Appleton North, again, very erratic on offense in the second half. See if they can get things going here on their 5th possession of the game, and that one's way out of bounds. So 1st down and 10 at the 20. 2:24 left in the second, or I should say in the third quarter, with a 24-16 lead for Neenah on your Verlo Mattress scoreboard.
It's quite a weapon to have, Ricardo, to have Van Dyke there kicking the ball through the end zone on a fly into the wind.
Van Dyke, a returning Associated Press All-State player in that at that position, and he's also playing defensive back. You see him here covering on the perimeter. 1st and 10 from the 20 for Appleton North. Sheckelman going deep, and there's Van Dyke. Oh, how did that happen? Wow, funky. Van Dyke trying to bring him down, can't get him. And Van Dyke just mistimed it, Mike. He went up to intercept it. It popped in the air, and Funky was able to get it off the rebound just like you draw it up, eh, Mike?
That's exactly how you draw it up, Ricardo. No, Van Dyke was there. He had the coverage. Funky may have had a step on him. The ball was slightly underthrown, which allowed Van Dyke to get a hand on it, but he was kind of falling backwards, and the ball popped up in the air, and just like that, the Lightning is within 2 points here. We'll see if they go for 2.
Oh, they have to, as Martini now is out there along with Sheckelman. Boy, just like that, it turns around. Sheckelman with Martini. Burling in motion for Appleton North. Here's Sheckelman rolling to his right. Throws and not able to complete that. So Neenah will still have a 2-point lead, 24-22 over Appleton North with 2:11 left in the third quarter. Wow, well that changed.
It's all how the ball bounces sometimes, Ricardo, right?
Absolutely. Funky having a huge day. I'll have to see if I can add up his stats.
Well, he had 6 catches for 96 yards at halftime. Just some real momentum shifts this second half. The first half, the teams kind of marched, took turns marching the ball down the field and eating up some clock and scoring. In the second half, it's been the total opposite. Big plays, turnovers, mistakes by both teams, but here we are. 24-22.
Yeah, as you see Funky right there. I mean, you got to give credit to him having that concentration to get it off the deflection.
Absolutely, Ricardo. And then Van Dyke chased him and almost brought him down. Went for the shoestring tackle and just couldn't get him. And again, Neenah chooses to not catch the ball and return it there. They let the ball go and into the end zone, and they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line.
What an entertaining game. Plenty of big plays, nice defensive stops, nice defensive plays, and then big pass plays. So Well, we've had an 80-yard pass play, a 75-yard pass play, both for touchdowns. Had a punt return for a touchdown. Lots of fun.
Had a safety. You don't see those too often.
It's true. First and 10 at the 20 for Neenah with 2:11 left in the third quarter as McClowry, quick over the middle, that's caught. That's caught by Evan Crook. And that is a first down. So good start to this drive for Neenah as they lead now by 2. Ball's at the 32-yard line, 12-yard gain from McClowry to Crooks. Now, if you're Appleton North, if you can, kind of force a turnover on downs, or a turnover, I should say, in general, just stop their offense. You set up your offense, which is pretty hot right now after the big pass play. But Neenah's run game has been a little more active of late, I've noticed.
Yeah, after struggling in the first half, Ricardo, they've run it much better the second half. They haven't only gained 2 yards, but they've broken off some decent runs the second half.
Second down and 8 for for Neenah at the 35, or just shy of it.
Still feel like the way this game is going and the way it's been played tonight, though, Ricardo, the big plays are going to come through the air. There just hasn't been a lot of ground to gain running the ball tonight.
Elkin joins a few teammates, and he's in motion. And that's quickly over to him, but that was thrown into the ground. Third down and 8 from the 35 for Neenah with 54.5 seconds left here in the third quarter. Great game. Thank you again for tuning in to tonight's live stream. We're here at Paul Engen Field. Valley Football Association football between a couple of interdivision rivals from Neenah, or I should say visiting Neenah. They're from the South Division, trying to keep pace with undefeated Hortonville. And Appleton North from the North Division as they're trying to keep pace with Kimberly and Appleton East and Kaukauna, Mike.
Yeah, that VFA North's going to be a battle.
Look out. Can't get away. McClowry sacked.
Wilson Zuck there, Ricardo, got into the backfield and brought him down.
Another great play by Zuck. That kid's all over the field. Heck of a player.
So Neenah gets the big gain on first down, the first play of the drive, and then goes backwards the rest of the drive.
Loss of 11 yards on that play, Mike. So Zuck, critical sack there, and now Neenah has to punt. We'll see if Van Dyke can give his team a big boost here with a nice kick. And that will be fielded right at the 40 on a fair catch.
About a 37-yard punt, no return. Didn't get that one to turn over as much. The wind kind of knocked it down a little bit.
So Appleton North's offense back on the field, trying to get something started here for the Lightning. Again, they scored, or their last score was scored on an 80-yard touchdown reception by Funky off a deflection. He took it to the house. Him and Van Dyke are again matched up as that was knocked down by number 57 for Neenah, Caden Sell, 6'1", 220-pound defensive lineman. That's an incomplete pass. Second down and 10 from the 40 for Appleton North.
You feel like the momentum is, even though Neenah's winning, you feel like one big play from North and they've got all the momentum.
It's definitely switching.
They got the big defensive stop after the turnover and held Neenah to a field goal. Then they got the long touchdown on the deflection.
Here's a quick pass out to Burling. Elkin right there to make that, Young out there to make that tackle to the 46. Third down and 4 situation coming up for Appleton North, and that's the end of the third quarter. Entertaining third quarter, Mike.
Fantastic third quarter, Ricardo.
24-22 lead for Neenah on your Verlo Mattress scoreboard. Well, Brett's missing a good one tonight.
Are we allowed to say what Brett's doing this weekend?
Well, you can.
I think he's doing a long bike race or bike ride tomorrow morning up in Door County.
Oh, well, good for him.
I think he said they were biking at like 7 in the morning or something.
Oh, he's asleep by now.
So
you know, Brett, he had his bowl of Cheerios or whatever, and now he's fast asleep.
Give him some credit. He likes riding his bikes, and tomorrow he's going to do it.
Well, I applaud him. A man of his age keeping active, that's nice to see, right, Mike?
He's your age, you know, isn't he?
He's significantly older than me.
Significantly.
Hundreds of days older than me.
I'm significantly older than the two of you guys.
He's 3 years older than me.
Wow.
3rd down and 4 from the 46. Looking to the sideline is Sheckelman. The Neenah students are very vociferous over there. 3rd down and 4. Quick pass out to Burling, and Burling is going to get the first down. Nice move to the outside for him.
Got a nice block from Preston Van Offeren there, Ricardo, on the outside. Van Offeren kind of shielded his man, and Burling had the option either cut it inside or cut it outside, depending on which way Van Offeren was shielding the defender.
Big 7-yard gain for Burling, and they're inside Neenah territory now. Are the Lightning. 1st down and 10 from the 47. Sheckelman back outside. That's Martini. Martini, he gets his motor running. Get out of the way, but hey, nice tackle by Van Dyke. Went low, Mike, because really that's all you can do when you have Martini getting on a roll there.
That's the only way I'd try to bring him down.
Ball is placed at the 43, so a 4-yard gain.
Appleton North pushing the pace here again.
Martini, look out there, try to strip that ball.
They are. We had that play in the first half, Ricardo, remember, where they had him wrapped up, and we think they stripped the ball out, but the whistle had already blown.
3rd down and 3 from the 40, so a 3-yard gain by Martini. And that Appleton North run game, again, has been it's been underperforming, let's say. I should say Neenah's defense doing a very good job of corralling the talented North runners.
Yeah, the front three of the Neenah defense has played well tonight.
Quick pass out, but nothing there.
Isaiah Gonzalez with the catch, but he was hit immediately. I think we got a Neenah player down on the far sideline, Ricardo.
He's back up and off the field now.
Hopped up. Nope, he's still down.
Oh, okay.
I think they had 2 down.
They did, actually.
One hopped up quickly. The other one still down.
It'll be 4th and, what do you call that, a long 2, short 3 for Appleton North as we're trying to see who that player up now. 44, thank you. 44 for Neenah. That is Luke Elkin, the talented Luke Elkin.
Final score tonight, Appleton East, Ricardo, 48, Oshkosh North, 7. 4 touchdowns tonight for Nick Bovat of the Patriots.
I'm going to have them on the show, Mike. Going to have Appleton East on the show this week.
All right.
Having a big year.
They're having a good year.
4th down and 3 at the 39 for Appleton North. Big defensive play here. Kazuba helping out, passing along some information to his fellow teammates on the defensive end for Neenah. And that's a direct snap to Martini. Did he get it? I don't think he got it.
I don't think he did. The Neenah sideline is reacting like he did not get it.
So the direct snap does not produce the first down. Neenah with a huge defensive play with 10:03 left in the 4th quarter. Mike, surprised at the call?
No, I actually like the call. I like the direct snap to Martini. I just think Neenah pursued it so well and made a great play.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, once you get Martini gets a head of steam.
Exactly. He got a head of steam going, and he got to the outside quick. Neenah was just a little bit quicker. One guy wasn't going to bring Martini down, but they had 2 or 3 guys that are ready for him.
So 1st down and 10 at the 38 for Neenah. Big defensive stand by their defense. I'll see if the offense can add on to that 24-22 lead, and that one's out near side. Nowhere to go, though. Ethan Post, big tackle for Appleton North. No gain on that play.
Crook on the catch there for the Rockets, but as you said, Post was there, and he sniffed it out right away.
Oh, they're going to call it 1-yard gain, so 2nd down, or loss of a yard, I'm sorry, so 2nd and 11 from the 37 for Neenah.
Both teams have definitely gone to these shorter passes again. We haven't seen anybody go deep other than the deflected ball
that Funky caught.
Funky caught.
Oh, that was thrown right to the North defender. That was Tao, Mike. Sam Tao. Boy, sometimes those are the more difficult ones to catch when they're thrown right at you, Mike.
Yeah, he was right there. Ball was overthrown. He caught it at the 48-yard line, and I thought he had the whole sideline open. Neenah did do a nice job of keeping him from taking it all the way to the house for a pick six, though. But excellent play by Tao, and sets the Lightning up now in excellent field position.
Sam Tao with the big defensive play for Appleton North. First down and 10 of the 17th. Let's see if Scheckelman can get this one in the end zone as Burling. Look out. Lord, look at them. Corral Burling. He takes it down to the 12.
I like what North did there, though, Ricardo. After the turnover, you know, Neenah's heads are going to be down a little bit. North came right out, ran out onto the field, got into their formation right away, and snapped the ball in a hurry, hoping to catch Neenah by surprise.
Second down and 5 for Appleton North. 8:45 and counting here on your Verlo Mattress scoreboard. 24-22 lead for the Rockets, but Appleton North can take the lead here. They have the turnover from Tao. Now they're in position in the red zone. Scheckelman over the middle to Burling, and that's going to be right at about the 3.
I don't know how he got that pass through there, Ricardo. From our vantage point, it looked like he was throwing it through about three Neenah guys, and the ball somehow found its way to Burling.
Well, first down, goal to go from the 3, Mike. And if you're Neenah, you just had a nice defensive stand. Can you do it again? Power formation for Appleton North. Give Martini. Ooh, he takes it to the 1. Just outside the goal.
Wouldn't be surprised if they go right back to the same play.
I think you have to.
Martini's a load in there and tough to bring down, especially when he only needs less than a yard for the touchdown.
Second down, goal to go from the 1. 2-yard gain for Martini. 8 minutes and counting here in
no need to get
the
cute
fourth
here.
quarter.
Just give it to Martini again. There you go.
And he got it in. Martini with the plunge. 1-yard touchdown. And Appleton North taking advantage of the defensive play by Sam Tao. Goes up, pending the extra point, 29-24. It's 28-24 with 7:54 left in the fourth.
Turnovers, Ricardo. This entire second half has been everything has been set up by turnovers. North is going for 2. Got the offense on the field. I think North only has 10 guys on the field.
I think so as well.
They only have 10 guys on the offense right now.
Boy, and the Appleton assistants aren't happy over here because of
some
mental mistakes.
You don't want to have to burn a timeout on a 2-point conversion. It's a big conversion to be sure, but to have to burn a touchdown there. But you're right, the coaching staff up here in the box next to us not happy that they had to use that timeout. .7:54 to go here in the fourth quarter on the Verlo Mattress scoreboard. Appleton North leading 28-24. We've got a timeout on the field. North coming out now to attempt the 2-point conversion. If they convert, they'll be up by 6, Ricardo.
Smart move here now, but you're right, Mike. That timeout, you hope if you're Appleton North that doesn't come back to haunt you. Because this game has been extremely close all throughout.
And Neenah used the timeout earlier, so both teams have 2 left now.
Here's Scheckelman back to throw, and timing route, and that's knocked away. So no good on the conversion. 28-24 is going to be your score at the moment with 7:54 left.
Trying to hit Preston Van Offeren there, Ricardo, and he was open. He had a little bit of a window to squeeze that pass into, but couldn't quite make the connection. Wind still howling here at Paul Engen Field. Definitely getting colder out. Just under 8 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. Appleton North 28-24 over Neenah. Game was tied at halftime, 14-14. Lightning has outscored the Rockets here 14-10 in the second half, with all the points coming on
defensive plays for the most part.
Pretty much the direct result of turnovers. We had a safety, we had a short field after an interception, a couple of short fields after interceptions, one by Neenah and then one by Appleton North. And then we had the long touchdown by Funky on the deflected pass. So definitely been some interesting plays here in the second half, Ricardo. What we haven't seen all night, or at least not since early in the game, is long sustained drives here.
That's true, right.
Which is what Neenah needs now and what Neenah wants now.
He take it at the 5, but fumbled by McClowry. Look out.
Colin McCullough made the catch, and then just as he was starting to run, he dropped it. Had to wait to pick it up, and then that messes up the timing.
Ball be placed at the 14. So with 7:46 left, that's where Neenah will start. Now they trail 28-24. The interception by Tao has set up Appleton North with the lead. So first down and 10 from the 14. Here's McClowry. The give off the right side and finding nowhere to run. And Appleton North's defense really laying the hammer down. I believe that is that Bartlett.
Well, Max Carpenter pushed his offensive lineman into the backfield, and that disrupted the timing of the play. Wes King too kind of blew up his guy, but I think Carpenter was the one who blew up that play, and then Post was the one that came in and kind of finished it off.
Either way, that's a loss of 4 yards, Mike. Second down and 14. Again, this is where you have to watch it if you're trying to do some short passing games or a penalty here. And oh, he almost got Appleton North to go off sides. Nice pass. Stockman.
That's a big play for you. That shortens up that third down play now. Now you only have third and a long 4. This is more manageable than it was.
Stockman had the big pass play in the first quarter, Mike. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was here.
Breaking away from the defender. Yeah.
I was even watching at that time.
You were?
Yeah.
Third down, and 4 from the 20. For Neenah, 2 receivers near side as McClowry over the middle. Nice catch. Beautiful reception. Evan Crook in traffic, Mike.
It's just a real nice play. Just a little pass by McClowry. Just kind of dropped it over the linebacker there to Crook, and you got your conversion.
10-yard gain. But if you're Neenah, came right at the time that you needed, and this would be a good time if you're a Neenah fan to see McClowry kind of heat up the quarterback position. First down and 10 from the 30. Back to throw. Quick out. And a reception.
And this is what they did at the start of the game, Ricardo, if you remember. Just some quick short passes, gain 5, 6, 7 yards on first down. Opens up your entire playbook. When you're looking at 2nd and 3, you can do just about anything you want.
7-yard gain to Stockman. You're right, Mike. Again, here's a chess match that you're seeing between Appleton North and Neenah. 3 receivers near side for the Rockets. They're down 28-24 on your Verlo Mattress scoreboard. 5:25 and counting left. Look out! Bart. We back? Hopefully we're back. Sorry about that technical difficulty. We're back. Second down and 15 from the 39. Nice screen setup. Oh, nice defensive tackle. Number 33 for Appleton North.
That's Zuck again. Wilson
yes.
Zuck.
Boy, what a player.
That play was set up really well for Neenah. They had 3 or 4 blockers out there, and he had a lot of room to run, and Zuck managed to squeeze in between the blockers and make the play. Fantastic play by Zuck.
Thank you for our buddy official Ken for letting us know that We kind of dropped off a little bit, but we're back and here's the situation. 3rd down and we'll call it a long 7 for Neenah's offense.
The FCC probably shut you down, Ricardo.
Yes, they did.
For something you said.
And what's going on here is we have
I think Neenah called timeout again.
Yes, they did.
Huge play in the game. The Rockets wanted to make sure that they were all on the same page. But what that does, though, Ricardo, I think they only have 1 timeout left. So if they need to stop the clock later in the game, at the end of the game here, they're only going to have 1 chance to do it.
Entertaining game here. Thank you again, everyone tuning in at our live stream. Looks like we're all good to go, Rosie, by the way, just letting you know.
Rosie's frozen down there, I think,
is.
so he didn't.
Got to get you some gloves, Rosie. Put it on the expense account, my friend.
Yeah, just think how cold it'll be in 2 months for like a level 4 playoff game,
Yeah.
Ricardo. Rosie's looking forward to that standing
Yeah,
outside.
but me and Rosie, we're expecting that to be a Titan Stadium, right, Rosie? We'll be nice and inside.
You hope so. Coldest I've ever been last year at Stanley Boyd for the Little Shoot.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the Freedom. Yeah, it was Little Shoot level 4 game.
3rd down and 8. McClowry back to throw. Over the middle again, wide open. And he fumbles the football. Are they going to say he's down? They're going to say it's
I
incomplete.
think they're going to rule it incomplete.
I thought he took 2 steps. But now here's where our buddy Ken can help us. How do the high school rules go with that? Did he take 2? I thought he took 2 steps and moved forward.
And if you're Neenah, it's probably better that they ruled it incomplete than a fumble.
Right, of course.
Because North recovered. Now Neenah, I mean, you might punt, but you at least have the option to go for it now. Or if that would have been a catch and a fumble.
But do you have to? You can punt. Look, they're sending out Van Dyke. Now you're going to hope your defense can come through, and Van Dyke can come through with a big kick.
We're under 4 minutes to go, Ricardo, though, and remember, Neenah has used 2 of its timeouts, so there is time, certainly, to make a defensive stop if you're Neenah, but
right,
not,
a little bit
not a lot.
A little bit of a gamble from Coach Young. There's a nice punt from Van Dyke, and this you got to watch that if you're the Appleton North. Get the heck out of the way, and picked up right at the 15. I always kind of wonder why you do that when there's 4 guys around you.
Living dangerously there. The ball almost hit the first North player when it bounced, and then the other one picked it up.
Yeah, that was Gomerick.
Yeah.
I guess he likes taking a little punishment. Okay, so if you're the Appleton North offense, Mike, you have a prime opportunity to close this game out, leading 28-24. 3:31 left in the 4th. What do you need, about a couple first downs here? Because, of course, the clock stops between after first downs and such.
Yeah, but I think if you get 3 first downs here, Ricardo, you probably can run out the clock.
Martini, big 5 yards.
Just moving the pile.
Takes it to the 20.
Again, Neenah just 1 timeout remaining. We're approaching 3 minutes left in the game here.
Our buddy Ken, the official, says it looked like it was bobbling in the ball a little bit.
All right.
Trying to secure it. So thank you, Ken.
Thank you, Ken. Your check is in the mail.
Yep.
Appreciate that.
Enjoy your 3 Tootsie Rolls.
Ooh, you got a raise.
Yeah. 2nd down and 4 from the 21. Is that Martini again?
Yes, it is. Going to be about a yard short, maybe a yard and a half short of the first down.
I like what Appleton North is doing, though. You know, just give it to your big guy, let him plow into that defensive line and see if he can get you that first down. But now you're looking at, what, a 3rd and a long 1.
3rd and a long 1. But by the time they snap this ball, we're going to be down to about 2:10 on the clock. By the time they snap it here, maybe 2:15.
This is where you don't want to see a bad snap or something like that, Mike.
You just don't see a lot of quarterbacks under center anymore.
No, you don't.
Even in the high school game.
He got it. Look at Martini plunging forward for that first down. Needed 1, got 2. So first down and 10 at the 26.
Reed Keppel met him in the hole there. Ricardo was just one-on-one, and Martini had the head of steam going. Like you said, he only needed a little over a yard. So
1st and 10 from the 26, and now if you're Appleton North, you get another first down. This one's over.
I think it might be over without a first down, Ricardo.
It might be as well.
Funny, Appleton North struggled to run the ball all night, Ricardo, but now when they've needed it, when they needed to run out the clock, they're doing it.
6-yard gain. Yep.
5, 6, 7 yards at a pop here for Martini.
Second down and 4 for Appleton North. But you're right, Mike. All they need is a couple of other. But you're expecting Neenah to call a timeout.
Yeah, Neenah will use its last timeout at some point here, but it won't matter if North doesn't turn the ball over.
Martini again.
Yeah, Neenah will stop the clock here, I think, but their only hope now is to stop North on 3rd down and force them to punt.
Ball's going to be at the 31. So loss of a yard. Brings up 3rd down and 5 for Appleton North with 49.1 seconds left. So a very entertaining game, Mike. Kind of turned around, though, on that Tau interception.
The Tau interception and the deflection.
And the deflection. You're right, the deflection.
If Van Dyke comes down with that ball, who knows where this game goes from there, but he just can't quite come up with it. It deflects into Funky's hands, who takes it all the way for the touchdown. It's a game of inches, and it's been a few plays either way tonight for both teams.
Appleton North able to get this win. It's a big one. They'll be 3-1. Try to keep pace with a couple of undefeated teams in the North Division. Kimberly, we expect to be there. Then Kaukauna and Appleton East, also undefeated, and both also leading, right? All three were leading in their games.
All three were leading. And Appleton East has already won tonight.
3rd and 5 from the 31. Big first down, or big play, I should say, for the North offense. And the Neenah defense gives up the middle. Oh, the fumble! Oh, but what a great recovery! That is Borland! Big old Dante Borland able to recover the fumble.
Wow, in the right place at the right time.
Again, not how you draw it up, but Borland, typically a defensive lineman, is in there at tight end. How about that for quick instincts, Mike?
He just smothered the ball, which is what he had to do there. He didn't try to pick it up and run with it, just fell on the ball, saved the game for the Lightning.
Now they're in the victory formation. Is Appleton North, and they're going to escape. Look at the big hugs that Borland's getting from his teammates.
He deserves them.
Big old number 98 coming off the field, getting hugs from the coaching staff. Thank you, Rosie. You got it on him there. Oh, my goodness. Went from a disaster to a jubilation, Mike.
Clock ticking down to final seconds here, Ricardo, and Borland, the man of the hour for the Lightning.
Right, because, I mean, when you look at it, I mean, they would have had a couple shots into the end zone at the very least, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, I think Neenah definitely, if Borland doesn't fall on the ball, Neenah will recover that ball. Who knows? Maybe somebody might have scooped it up.
But, yeah, very entertaining game. Now, Rosie, we're going to have to wrap this up, my friend, because I got to kind of get down there. So, but a couple of quick thoughts on both teams. First off, Neenah, Mike, they didn't run the ball well. And this game is kind of hard to get a gauge because of all the mistakes that were made. But I like Neenah. Now, are they going to be able to take down Hortonville? You know, they got Fond du Lac yet to play. I don't know, but I think Neenah is right there. They dropped to 2-2, but they got a shot to make the playoffs. I think they're a good team. They're young at some very critical areas, though. But, boy, this is a tough loss to take, but one that I don't think should what do I say, throw a wrench in their postseason plans. It's going to be a little more difficult for them, but I expect them to be in the postseason.
Well, and they played an excellent first half, Ricardo. Yes. They're gonna regret some of the things that happened in the second half with some of the the drop snap on the safety and the interception and some of those things. The game was here. The game was here for Neenah to take, and Appleton North, being a good team, did what a good team needs to do. They made the plays in the end that they had to make.
No, Appleton North, now look, yes, some of it was fortuitous, okay? But you know what? Sometimes you make your own luck. Yes, the Van Dyke deflection, a little bit luck, but he still had to make the catch. A Funky still had to make the catch and then run at 80 yards for the touchdown. Sam Tao, it was thrown right to him. He still has to make the interception. So, yeah, you're looking at a bunch of kids making big plays, and I'm sure that's what Psalm's going to talk about is that given the opportunity, do you come through with the plays? North did. It wasn't pretty. It was one of those games like, okay, great, let's move on to the next one right away. But, hey, it's OW. They're 3-1 and contending, for that top spot in the North Division. And, Mike, they have to. 3 teams that are undefeated.
Well, that's exactly what Coach Psalm is going to tell the guys. He's probably telling them that in the huddle right now. When you have a chance to make the play, you have to make the play, and that's what the North guys did tonight. They could have folded. They made their share of mistakes tonight, but when they needed to make a play, they did.
Good stuff. All right, Rosie, we're going to wrap this up because I got to get down. But I do want to say one last thing. Thank you again to our sponsor, Verlo Mattress Factory of Appleton, Green Bay, Oshkosh, Fond du Lac, and Sturgeon Bay. They are our new sponsor for the prep season. Am I right, Rosie? We can't wait to work with these guys. They're going to be there the entire season. We're going to bring more and more great games like what you just saw here between these 2 great teams, Neenah and Appleton North again. So, do you know how to put this one to bed there, Mike? Do you know how to do that? So, what we're going to do is
we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out because Rosie's going to come back up here and help us out. I'm going to head down. Head down to the field. Got to talk to Coach Young, Coach Psalm, a couple of the victorious Appleton North players. But until then, hey, you know what? Our next game, don't forget about that. Our next game next week, next Friday, I should say, we're going to be going to Fond du Lac for, again, Hortonville and Fond du Lac. A couple of VFA South teams. Hortonville's undefeated. Fond du Lac just coming off that loss to Kimberly. 2 very good teams, and we're going to see if Hortonville is for real. So it's going to be a great matchup between these 2 squads. So until next week, everyone, thank you for tuning in to tonight's game. Another great USA Today Network Wisconsin digital live stream. For Michael Sherry, for Jim Rosendick. You climbing up here, Rosie? Okay, you know what you're doing? Okay, I'm Ricardo Arguello. Hey, Brett, can't wait to see you back here next week. I know you're listening right now. Until then, have a great week, everybody, and we'll be back here again for Week 5 of the high school sports prep football season. Until then, have a great week, everyone. See you back here next Friday.